And so it seems like revenge might be back on the menu again for the third day running. A team who has gone ahead and lost their opening match decided to try and run it all the way back. But a tight 16-13 between Big and Heroic to start the day on this very same map leads us here yet again. Do you think that Big showed enough versus EG to inspire the belief that they can run it all the way? How about that Keto 20-some-odd kills? How about them Tabson headshots?
Yeah, I mean, form is form. Like the game, if the game was closer and they still won, it'd probably have an impact on the way we feel. But it's, what do you think?
I think Big will run it back.
Big will run it back? Okay.
Yeah, let's get it.
I mean, when it comes to this match, I have no idea. I'm super torn on who will win. I just don't know how much stock to put in the EG game.
I'm thinking this one we get another tight match, right? 16-13 with some really crazy rounds, not the most momentum for either team that whole entire time.
There's two great nuke teams going head to head.
Yeah, this could be, I think this might be this might be the favorite map of the day. This matchup right here, especially the second time around, should get better. Jabby down after 1. 2 guns, 1 kill. Bobbin inside sight, hanging on with that bomb. Here comes Tabson with the headshots. Crimbo's gonna offer us 1. How about 2? Very nice, clean pistol round for Big once they got footing on that A site.
Made him look like EG right there.
Oof.
Oof.
Man, they're still in the building.
Yeah, I feel bad. I just feel bad as like a North American.
Oh, right. Yeah, well, I mean, Complexity beat Navi yesterday.
That was cool.
Can ride that high for a little more.
That's the thing. Now it's lifestyle creep, you know? I expect these results now.
Blame it on the European.
Yeah. They're responsible for everything anyways. Especially pickled things.
Yeah, pickled who knows what. Ooh, little gap on that one. So Stound's on high alert that somebody gets by, but with these pistols and the sharpness that Tabson has been able to offer us so far today, it's looking good for Big outdoors. Inside, different story. Shush connects with the Desert Eagle. I like that. Little flash for himself to peek down beneath. But he's met by smoke, so no vision for Shush. Tabson's getting dangerously close as Shush starts to peel away towards the B site. So Tabson going to ensure that nothing can go too poorly down on B.
Impeccable timing. And there's no real fast way for Tessas to get down here, so what can Shush do? Ooh, I feel like not a lot. He's in a tight spot.
Pinned into the wall.
Yeah.
Tessas comes out from wherever the hell he was hiding. We'll see what he can pick up downstairs, if anything. So Big 2-0 start on the T side. Smooth start, taking that momentum from EG and pushing it right onto Heroic.
Yeah, does help you get you warm.
Crimbo specifically had a nice turnaround.
Yeah. I really hope, no matter what happens, we see Yabi have a good... I mean, I feel like I hold Yabi to a high standard. I mean, based on the games that we saw that he played well in, I think the stats have definitely been up and down for him, but we saw great moments from him on the Flames in kind of very clutch moments. Like, for example, when they played against Imperial in that game, there's like vertigo, overpass on the horizon, or whatever.
To get to the Antwerp Major.
Yabi just had so many critical moves over and over again. And I mean, that's Imperial. It's not really a team we're talking about right now. But at that moment, they had just beat Cloud9. They were playing really well. And in terms of pressure, that was absolutely the most pressure that the Flames had ever been under. And that's where Yabi showed that that didn't even matter. Like, he was going to play creatively, he was going to play free, he was going to hit hard shots, he was going to be very fast. So that made me a Yabi believer for sure. So looking forward to seeing this kind of roster move worked out. Even though with Refresh, they'd probably be better right now. Oh, okay.
Let's go.
Birthday surprise.
We got another one on the field. Cadian wielding it towards ramp.
Like, when we look at the Cologne results, of course, there's no way they would go out in groups if they had Refresh on the team, right? They would have been favorites to make it as far as, quarters, semis, and potentially final. There was even an outside chance they could win, maybe not with FaZe and Navi in the form they were, right? But get close.
Yeah, they're in that conversation.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say they didn't do well with that initial move. They didn't get the honeymoon phase with Yabi.
Down goes the second Zeus, so it's just going to be whether Stown can find one in lobby, and he had a chance, but Keto turns it on him 90 degrees as Big continue to crank up the heat. 3-0 for a T-side nuke start, exactly what you're looking for. The power of Zeus.
Jeez.
Look how it connects.
Yeah, it's a cross of electricity.
Oh, because it...
Wow.
God.
Wait, was that
Wait, did it connect to the person above?
Whoa.
We couldn't see him because the HUD.
Yeah, that's some interesting physics right there. Do physics apply to electricity?
I think so.
Okay.
Oh, man. I probably...
Does it get to the quantum level?
Man, we sound so smart. Yeah, physics apply.
There were two.
There were two.
There was ice.
Already down secret, but met by a smoke, so good utility usage here from Heroic to just kind of cool off. It was a pretty bolsterous Big. Throwing themselves at those secret stairs.
Because like the way that electrons and photons behave, that's like quantum, right?
Sure.
So.
Mm-hmm. And then the nucleus. And, you know, it's all about photosynthesis, really.
We can move on.
Please. Cadian sliding into the depths of this B site. But listen, Big have also kind of cooled off, so everybody creepy crawling to the 45-second mark. First kill comes in from Favin. Molly could get dropped on Cadian technically, but so far he's been allowed to hold on to this pocket. Site's actually under question with Tapson coming out decon. No kill for the Danish in-game leader. Now, with no kill, it kind of feels like no chance. So maybe they just let this one slip by, right? First real gun round from Heroic, and you don't want those rifles to mean nothing.
Mm-hmm.
3 potential saves on the cards.
Damn. Well, this helps to save EG's reputation a little bit, you know? If Big just toss Heroic up like they did with Big, or with EG, then we feel a bit better about that loss as a continent.
Misery loves company.
Best map in the game right here.
Nuke?
Yes.
It's a good opinion.
Okay.
Stown hangs on, but so will all 5 players.
We should find something to disagree on.
Oh, I'm sure we could. I'm sure we could, Launders. I didn't like that juice you bought me today.
It was a protein shake.
Too many vegetables.
Yes, it was called the Green Shield.
But I chugged it anyways, because vegetables are important.
Yeah.
So are winning rounds.
Now you're going to live a couple extra hours.
I'm down. Shush has brought in the old Nova. Bit of 12 gauge on that A floor. Excuse me, he's on the hut roof. Big gonna play this one very clumped together. Now, we've already seen a lot of emphasis from Big towards those secret stairs, so to see Cadian down there already is a nice look, but he's got to deliver, right? Wasn't able to catch a kill inside that B site last round. Right timing on his peak. You could catch him sleeping. Oh, nice. Finds Tapson, but isn't able to escape.
That's
Molotov's layered, and Cadian just burnt to a crisp in an instant.
Yeah. I was going to try to weigh if that was worth it, but there's just not enough guns here, so it might have been, you know, a risk you take only in this situation specifically. So we'll see where these Deagles are at, but it's with everyone upstairs right now. And it doesn't feel like their itinerary says that they're going to end lower. It might be hard to close this out.
Saw it last round. We'll see it again. Big just crawling closer to the B site. It's one thing to stop Tabson finally. He was 8-0 before Cadian clipped his wings. TessS confirms, yes, they are coming here yet again. We'll see what degree Heroic decide to scramble for this bomb site, but by the looks of it, just keep that one M4 in the hands of Stown. Maybe risk the shotgun and the Deagle. Barring a couple of kills, it's looking like a big 5-0 start.
Let's see if they keep going outside, keep working it towards secret. This was very clean, but, you know, not the most resistance. And Yabi will go ahead pick up that M4, which is a nice find. Searson had a big clutch earlier. And I think he still has to kind of cement himself as like, I think he needs a top 20 placing with lands. You know, I think that does matter for Searson. He's obviously insane, but Big do play a fair few online cups and have a lot of online games in their history, and some of their big wins are online. You know, so they still do have to. It's not that they're looked at it purely as like an online team or anything, but definitely still one of the teams that are like better online.
Yeah, it's where their best results have been.
Yeah, like we had Heroic win a LAN this year. We also had Cloud9 win a LAN this year.
Big's turn.
Yes, Big's turn.
Shame it wasn't Cologne.
Yes.
But Big also have this flawless record of qualifying for Blast finals events, right? Whether that's spring finals or fall finals, they always qualify through the group stage. It's a team that we never, ever, ever see at Showdown. So in these moments, right, the studio environments, you know, that's actually the most consistent thing about Big is they're, you know, we always say it, right? Big is best at Blast.
And so they've never gone to the Showdown?
I don't believe so.
Damn.
Even last time it was tight, but they got there.
Right.
I could be wrong. If I am wrong, it's literally one time.
Sure, yeah.
But not more than one. And even that I doubt.
Well, they're on their way.
Whoa, that.
On their way to winning, I mean.
Oh, okay. Acceptable answer. So they're on fire with that 5-0. Guns back for Heroic. Full-fledged weapons. No Novas. Shush even has that AK saved from the last round, but he also gets tagged to 56 to start. Cadian not quite in Secret Stairs this time, but I believe Stound's just tucked in the corner of Secret, so not looking for a fight. Just, yeah, holding off and holding and waiting and allowing Cadian to instead hold that deep garage angle.
Yeah, I think they're going to go try back to outside, which I think is really great. Cadian's watching for that mini drop, and I think... And yeah, Stound's inside a Secret. This covers a lot of options. I love the setup, of course. Not necessarily weak in any one place. Upper might be more attractive. If they smoked out mini, it might be hard for them to get help, for example. But there's still 2 players here to defend, which is sustainable.
Soon to be 3. Cadian decided to pull off of garage with those smokes down.
Wow, they are going to move it back.
Said it, maybe A looks good, but they don't pounce on it immediately, and now suddenly Heroic have read into the timing, so they stack up appropriately. Molly's making Cadian uncomfortable. TSS stops Keto at the very least, and Javi decides to get aggressive here inside the lobby. Searson's going to cut him down, and it's a quick redirection down ramp where TSS could have gotten stopped. But Stound gives him cover, and Big rocket back once more.
Wow, this is very confusing. There's actually still enough time to try this, but I don't think they're going to anymore because it's 4v2. Going for the confusion tactic. Because I'm confused.
Well, it started outside, then it went into lobby. They leaned towards ramp and back again.
Yeah.
No opening anywhere.
I can't tell what they were going to, what they wanted the most, I guess. Because they actually looked like they were prepping for outside completely. I don't think they had any inner presence for a second. Then they take it here. They don't get their kill here.
Stound finds one vent.
Yeah. So I guess they are trying to split lower ultimately when they see this rotation. I guess they get confused maybe seeing Stound here and then wondering how many players are downstairs. So they just canceled and went back. And by that point, just lost too many players. So, okay. Yeah, the setup is very solid from Heroic. I mean, I think 2 of the best spots on CT side of Duke, the back of Big Garage and Secret, and they use both of them.
Searson saw that.
Just because of option coverage. Yeah, they're copying and pasting Secret again. I like it. Like when we watched the EG game, we wanted kind of an immediate response because Big were doing similar things more than once. Heroic just adapt right there, right here.
Sign of a good team, a cerebral collar, and a strap book with a little depth in it. TSS. There were bodies there. More than one. And Crimbo's got himself a 2K.
Wow, they just trying to clamp down on the lobby with 3 players, but 2 are dead.
That's going to allow for Searson to comfortably hold back towards the trophy room, and TSS just walks right into that scope. So a victim of the Crimbo 2K into this A site. You know, last round they couldn't find an opening no matter where they decided to go. This time the opening comes to them. Heroic get aggressive, pay the price, and Big right back to winning ways for the 6-1 lead.
I think in some sense they outplayed Heroic here because they made it look like they're going outside again, and Stown was in secret. He waited over top this one way. They finally mollied him again, and there was actually no way for Heroic to be sure that they weren't going to continue outside. So instead, because Heroic do not like playing blind, it's one of the cornerstones of their gameplay, they decided to go for their lobby crunch. They do this a lot, and they push with 2, and Big are waiting for this. They exactly wanted this reaction, and they got it.
Just down, trying to keep that off. Oh,
Wow.
nice shot. We like those. Wasn't even sure which side he flicked to be honest, for a second.
Yeah.
But ultimately, no op saved or move forward. So, Crimbo, let's check this out. Gets caught by the peak, keeps it going. Just saw Jabby's shoulder, so easy, you know, reinitiation.
Pretty nice shot. They actually they're going back towards Squeaky, but they weren't ready for it at that one moment. So just a beautiful shot from Crimbo.
Heroic, everything on the line in this one. There's no op because it wasn't saved and couldn't be afforded. Or could have, but Cadian decides to keep some cash. Searson with the opening. Again, they go to outside, and this time with definitely a faster tempo.
Yeah, huge tempo. They've got here rotations coming down, but if you're Heroic, your number one fear is over-rotating in this spot. As soon as it goes quiet again, you go, damn it, they aren't rushing. Wow, Big keeping their options open. And now they forced Heroic to gamble.
It's a gamble that could pay off. We see the Heaven presence. Maybe still an option, but wow, okay, Keto. Very clean first one. Sees Stown upstairs when normally he's been elsewhere, so that could be the sign to just really commit down to this B site with Bomb, and Favin's got an escort if he wants to go. Crimbo's the insurance policy over towards ramp. It's vent or nothing for Heroic.
Dude, they did it again, man. Yeah, like you said, Stown committed right there in Mustang, or Fur, I guess, specifically. And, okay, Shush makes a good rotation with 2 kills.
Said vent or nothing. Shush decides to slide down it. Oh, a third from Shush. Big impact. A round they have no business winning. A round that it looked like they could have just whimpered through lobby and gone for the save. Instead, Shush decides to silence them. 4 kills when he could have just left, justifiably.
Damn, that was a wicked shot. Part-time oppin'. What do you think?
Time up. Nicely done, Shush.
This is the emergency moment. Shush is a hero, right? Because if he dies, there's no way they go into this. They're still 2 upper. They got outplayed. When Keto got his kill, that was one thing. But when he spotted a second guy there and then knew there's probably one more, that's another. That's when it was like, that's too much info that Heroic gave over. So Shush saved the day. Still, Big are playing extremely well. I mean, they went for the tempo, fast outside cross, got the Cadian kill early. That was Heroic's main game plan to stop the outside control. So, again, that's one of those rounds that really speaks to a 5v4 advantage. You get an opera down that early outside on nuke. That's when you win 80% of the time. And this, and it doesn't come to fruition. So, it doesn't take away from the fact that Big played very well there. Even if Shush saved it at the end.
Yep, Shush, the individual highlight of this map so far. Round-winning play. But you got to follow up with it. Still, critical turning point that could have been had Heroic just lost. What's Keto want to do? Keto absolutely lights out versus EG, bullied them across Mirage.
Yep, and a couple good kills already here on Nuke.
Looking for it here inside the A site. Gets a good amount of spacing. Jabby back sight. Uncomfortable, but escaping somehow, some way. Goes all the way back around the smoke. Won't be able to find Tabson as he comes out from Squeaky. Stown is dangerously nearby, and he's going to commit to that one. A double for Stown, and now Crimbo into the 1v4. He's got plenty of time. Bomb nearby, but so many opponents already on top of him that Heroic's CT side now has a chance to bloom.
Indeed. Yeah, their money could have got crushed that previous round. Now they're on their feet. They've got their accounts together. They gotta be feeling good. Good cover from Tessus, and Yabby taking care of himself. getting back through the smoke after eating the second flash, jumping through the smoke again that they used to put out the Molotov that landed backside, and then winning out on his duel versus Keto. That helped stabilize.
Cracks in the big economy. Single deagle here for Keto, and he's dead in an instant. Shush finds himself back on the kill feed. The eyes of Big fall back on outside. Cadian, very comfortable with the angle. Sees the barrel. Ooh, collateral that nearly takes down Searson. The spam from Stound's going to finish that one off. And now Heroic are starting to hit a slot, hit a groove.
A nice 1-2.
Tessus on the NAF. Won't be able to get the better of Crimbo.
No, NAF is the orange box. Oh, specifically very far up, right? It's alpha male behavior. Stand on the orange box.
It's those sloth claws, you know? He can hang on where no one else can.
Right.
Yeah, but just shoulder peeking. Whoop. Falls it back. Big left. Trying to find an opening elsewhere. Smoke grenade at least. That gets picked up. One more piece of utility for the puzzle, but dwindling amounts of time makes things weird, and maybe we just start going into the save because, as alluded to, that big economy, it was all in the line right here, right now.
Very impressive for Heroic to get back into this game. So that's the nice combination between a nice individual play paired by good adjustments that end up winning rounds. Cadian wins this with his collateral damage, right, first of all. They try to go for a mid-speed cross this time instead of running all the way. They press up against red. They skip, I think, just the first lurk smoke across, and then they try to throw the fast ones, but Cadian has a really good deep angle.
Counter-terrorists win.
Counter-Strike's 10th birthday. Happy birthday, Counter-Strike.
Hell yeah.
CSGO's 10th.
Did you play CSGO on the day it was released? If I asked you 10 years ago today, what were you doing? Was it playing Counter-Strike?
Yes.
Good for you.
It was a pile of shit. We've come a long way.
Here's to 10 more. It's 2 AKs, coupled with some pistols, but Stound right at it. That's one of the guns already down as well. So Stound's not going to give Big any chance to catch their breath. No room to breathe. Continues trying to fight up close versus Searson. That other AK's in the hands of Crimbo, so solo little ramp play from him. Oof, and the P250 last bullet headshot. That's what a sniper's sidearm can get done. He extends his arms, grabs the M4. Cadian comes clearing the corners inside ramp, but Crimbo is still just waiting for the lobby flank. Tess's walking up. He's going to get caught. He had just looked over to the left to potentially clear that deep corner in ramp room. Dink through the wall twice! Chappie so low, and that next one almost finds him.
Can't stand anywhere these days.
German deagles, I tell you.
Yeah, these are like the 1.6 mouse sports deagles. On nuke.
That suddenly evens this out, right? All the damage versus Tabson, like barring the weapon that Tabson doesn't have. Crimbo didn't see that.
Jeez.
A sliver of Cadian on display, and Crimbo doesn't catch it. Molly's going to burn some critical time off the clock, and then Jabby comes back around through lobby. However, little misdirection. We've got Searson inside A site, bombs heading down to B. Searson gets found out, and now Tabson, his only chance is to come up vent, try to get the kill inside of Hut, and maybe get a bomb plant here.
Yeah, he could plant side Tetris, but they have no reason not to peek him.
No, that one gets a little weird, and Tabson's going to pay the ultimate price. Luckily, it doesn't die after time.
Yeah.
But also doesn't get the plant here for the money on Big side.
I think he knows he's going to die, but if he goes outside, then maybe they don't kill him and wait till after. It gets a little scarier, so that's why he goes for the plant there. Nice shots here. Oh, nothing more annoying than this.
2 deeks to the head. That one was... Woof, they were close. Surely, if you get 2 deagle headshots through the wall, you deserve a kill.
Yeah. I'd die. As far as I can hear, they're using EG smokes, which is a compliment to North America.
But which EG?
They're using Nealon smokes. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Current.
Take a look at the top of the screen at the moment, folks. It's been a hell of a turnaround from Heroic. 6-1 once upon a time. Now the Danes find themselves one round away from being on fire. So big open gap outdoors. Down tries to commit for the second kill, but Tabson's got the trade frag very quickly wrapped up.
Yeah, they've interrupted the smoke a couple of times here, so caught him off. Wow,
Cadian deep. Keto's gonna walk right into that one. Silver platter for Cadian. Almost falls back into the mini peaks, which could have cost him. Fabins by Vent, Shush catching the kill from above, and that's gonna activate Cadian as he goes hunting for this follow-up. Nicely done. Finding Favin. Tabson outdoors, 3 health, and still able to silence Shush. Cadian's gonna peek into this, and that's gonna be the end of that. Nice 3 kills from Cadian, multiple positions across the map, one of them up close and personal, and Heroic tie this game 6 rounds apiece.
It's a calm game with explosive moments where Big are playing really well and Heroic are keeping up. It's shaping up for a hell of a map here so far. And this is a massive round from Cadian.
Straight to the neck.
Yeah, good zoning here. Molotov into Mini after his first flash, make sure it's safe. And then he tracks down his third and final target as well. So, and then also I think like a core part of the game plan with the outside crosses, that's been quelled completely. So, seeing pistols now. Oh,
very quick. Gabby regains vision. Won't be able to catch more than that 1 kill. There's life on this one here for Big, but Stown gets through, slides through that smoke, and makes sure he finishes what Shush started. Keto, 1 versus 3. Sliding past that smoke, little gap in it. But 2 players on the other end, and he gets owned. Iced out, finished off, an explosive pistol push attempt, but no gas on that one.
Yeah. I think seeing the Tech 9s there is just symbolic of the fact that, again, Heroic found some good answers. They actually won 5 straight now.
6, okay. I think.
And full buy again here for Big with Searson on the op. Probably the last time we see that this half if it doesn't work. And where do they want to go? We haven't seen many fast vent drops or ramp hits.
Oh, Crimbo up top. Down by half health.
Oh, they're trying to do Canada.
What's that?
It's the twist. The twist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Apparently Kerrigan has named it Canada.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, be blind as a bat. Big. Haunting outside. Quietly, they wait. Searson hoping somebody sticks their head out.
So the reason you put the squeaky pressure on like that, they drop the smoke in front of it and they throw their nades, blow the door open, is so that the mini guy, there's so much noise that you can drop off the silo, get into mini, but also the mini guy is just tied up because if anybody explodes through it, then he has to look forward. So they tried that tactic, it failed. They didn't lose a player, they did lose some HP, and now they finally get him. So Crimbo dies, the guy who was supposed to come out really fast, but a trade here from the T-side op of Searson.
Shush gonna keep it committed to the corner. 2 players coming at him now. He's caught in the open, goes down empty-handed. Mini fight doesn't go the way of Javi, even though he hits the headshot. Oh my God, this is clean. Insta kills coming out of Big, 3 in a row, one after another. Even though the headshots are there versus Tabson and Keto, it's just not enough. So Big kind of squeeze in multiple directions. This is gonna be a 4v5 into the 4 versus 1, and Cadian gets spotted when he comes out from vent, so Big are not done yet on this T side.
Well, beautiful. Trust in your individuals right there. So we've got one more round left in this half to wrap things up. And it was actually, you know, a good start here for a second. Great shot from Searson. That was a faraway flick. Wow. And then the 2-piece from Keto. Complemented by the entry from Tabson. Oof. Laser sharp. Razor sharp? Sharp.
Very sharp.
Who has less emotions? Exist or Searson?
Searson, surely. Yeah, Searson.
I saw James interview Exist and he kind of smiled a little bit. I haven't seen that from Searson.
I will always remember that time Tabson gets this crazy pistol round at one of the Blast events. Pops off while in the big office. Searson just stayed seated while the rest of the team were all jumping around like madmen. So nothing will defeat that. But
The
speak of the devil,
Mamba
Searson's
mentality.
dead.
Yeah, okay. He's gone.
Done already. 4 kills between Heroic and a lead at the end of the CT side, and that right there is a total stuff on Squeaky. Tabson tries to recover it, but not quite the one-man army that they needed, and then Crimbo just gets owned from above. So yes, sure enough, a small edge for Heroic as they will start their T side after the break.
I couldn't even see him. What the f?
Let's go flames.
To be right now. Wait, don't be.
Nice.
Smoke AC.
I might.
Smoke AC, it's failed smoke.
Yeah,
Smoke
go
on the
on,
right
go
hand with
on.
double swing. Let's
Yeah.
double swing. 3, 2, 1. AC left side.
1v1.
Was Zaibu.
Bomb is not for you.
No kit, man.
Parlez français.
Je regarde des faux, je regarde des faux.
J'ai le spawn.
Je regarde des faux, y'a rien.
Je pense qu'il va être côté appartement.
Ouais. You can play kitchen if you want, bro.
He was 1 HP, yeah? Yeah, I'm playing kitchen.
Ziwu, 1 Can you check from time to time short and be up silly, I'm just hiding.
Yes, I'm checking something. Attends un peu avant de planter, Kevin, qu'il est ton appartement.
Je vois un spawn.
What's up? Prends bien l'appart, Kematou.
Check again, il est.
Planting, hein? He's checking.
Check,
Planting. Matou, t'as une mollo. Pas CT.
I can flash seat.
TTT, pride set. Last, ticket. Kevin, cache-toi.
Défaut.
Ticket last. No,
I hold
hiding
it,
ticket.
Kevin.
Pas de kit, Kevin. Il t'a vu avec la deadcam.
Peut-être pas.
Sick.
Rushing,
I'm blind.
Bang.
Mola.
Down.
Low.
Dead. We can play kinda aggro on ramp, guys. We're 3.
Let's say sandbags.
Right.
I smoked to one.
pick. I'm picking with you now.
Wait
I'm
him,
dead.
nice. One off, nice.
2 ramp.
One more.
Ramp, 1 more. He's looking, Ivan. Nice.
Nice.
Ramp.
Nice. Wait.
Rush B.
Okay. Nice.
I bait you, Jackie, I bait you.
They're not coming.
Not, they want.
Yeah,
they want. They're in.
Dead tunnel.
They're in.
flashing the door smoke. I'm going through.
Xbox. One dead, I'm full blind.
Xbox.
2 car.
Tunnel.
Nice! Sick! Smoked.
Monster.
Noch einer.
Ich bin bei dir, lass gehen, oder?
Einer
Oder
Secret noch.
Spot.
Ihr habt nur einen. Nein, nicht Main smoken.
Kommt.
Da ist keiner
Ich komm
Main.
jetzt mit dir, Nils.
Geh raus, ich kill Armanek.
Der wird Main aber.
Main Ave. Main rechts, low.
Down.
Tot. Ich halte Heaven.
Schacht.
Letzter was?
Schräge.
Letzter unten. Ja, der ist unten irgendwo.
Ich hab Schacht.
Ich mach perfekto. Er ist simpel. Er ist rund.
Er ist auf der Schräge.
Einer kann sterben noch, wir haben sehr viel Geld. Oder was nicht für eine
Hat das gute Spacing zusammen, der Ave.
Komm, Josef.
Links. Handhit. Ich geh rechts.
Der zu sein.
Nice.
Wir haben Doppel, egal.
Ach, ich
Egal, wir haben viel Geld.
Felt like Big were calling the Krankenwagen at first, but
What's
then ambulance.
Oh, okay.
Turns out it wasn't for Heroic.
I got hit by an ambulance in Germany.
That sounds convenient. At least it was right there.
We almost died. I was in an Uber with James Bardolph and Machine.
Oh my God.
It was raining and it was dark.
Okay, well, Don't do that again.
Yeah, well, they hit me, so.
We'll see if Heroic can start this T side with a little momentum. They get caught trying to push into the lobby, so that's excellent for Jabby and Cadian. Oof, but just as quickly as they get the 2 kills on the advantage, it gets clawed right back. Searson cerebral as Cadian tries to go for the Goomba Stomp, perhaps. Flies out of heaven to his death. Tesses gets iced out, and now it's going to need to be the Stown 1v3. Point blank, he finds Searson. Good start. Crimbo towards Decon. Oh, sharp as he needs to be.
Yeah, gotta be hyped about that.
Big picking up both pistols in this BO1.
Not bad. Great shot, Searson. That's a fast one from Turnpike.
I want to see Cadian get plucked from the sky again, please.
Yeah. It became weightless in that moment.
Look how quickly he just ran outdoors for this. He's ready for it.
Nice!
Why do you make noise when you hit the ground if you go through any objects?
I don't know. Thought we established this. I don't understand science. Quick one. Heroic. 3 MAC-10s. They've got a bunch of bodies downstairs already. Time to watch Tapson. Stops him on both sides. And then Shush through that smoke catches the straight Deagle headshot. So that's at least the bomb picked up. The FOM is right there with it. Favin, though, not going to let him get away with more than 2. And so Yabby and Tesses, man disadvantage, no bomb control, but at least a minute and 20 to work.
Great angle here for Searson to hold. In this position, doesn't have to worry about any lurky plays and can hold this for a very long time. He'll spot one. Yabby takes some damage. MAC-10. Not going to be a chance you win that, is there?
No, not ideal.
Searson knows this. He'll follow up. Actually start to go for the push. It looks like they're going to try to make a line of smokes. Call this the snake strat. And they can try to walk into it and get the bomb. He doesn't get it, though.
Nope, missed it. Second try. Oh, awkward. That was his chance, and his chance is ripped right away, as is the lead. Big to 9.
Yeah, great coverage on the fast tactic here from Heroic. They covered everything. Ooh, the energy's there. It's always nice when you run around like this and taps in leader of the team. Literally and in spirit, bringing that energy.
Perfect positioning next to the double door, right? You see it swing open. Shots are so close, but he's got just enough cover to take that second with him.
Yeah, they can see now a big win on the horizon. If they stabilize after this pistol. 2 AKs in play here between Stown and Yabby.
Got B popping off. Brought up that conversation about how big as an organization has just tried to keep every single, positive element of German Counter-Strike in their camp, and got B to the, main coach role.
Yeah, they hired the whole damn country.
Anyone worth their weight?
They need a Schwip sponsor. It's very hard for me to say.
Yeah, I appreciate the effort. Pulled it off. Dink versus Stown's not enough to end him, so one of the 2 AKs here for Heroic. Not a round they're supposed to win. And Tabson, we already saw what he could offer us on this B site. Lines up 2, but Yabby keeping his head down, pushes Favin into an awkward spot. A second kill from Yabby off that AK. And what do you know? B site compromised. Just as Big thought things were going their way, Heroic smash him with the double AK buy.
I was just about to say we need to see a little bit more from Yabby. I think overall, coming off Cologne into the break, I can't help but feel like he was grinding. I feel like he wasn't one of the ones taking like an enormous vacation or anything like that. But I mean, he could have been, and he was entitled to. I'm just saying, from what we understand of that whole team of Copenhagen Flames, some of the biggest nerds in Counter-Strike, grinding out, face it, finding out new things about the meta, pushing everything to its limits. That's the only way to get top 8 of the major with no top 20 players, right?
Yep.
So, and Yabby and the core of that team, wouldn't be surprised if he was grinding through the break, but yes, coming into Heroic, this is kind of akin to joining Furia, right? It's the European Furia, and that's a hard team to join. I think that would be the hardest probably team to try to fit into because there is structure there, but there's more fluidity on Heroic than there is in basically any other team in terms of how fast they do things, how many things they do quickly. That comes down to the CT side, but look at the spacing, very good here. Instant trades, but just that right amount of composure. Knows when to slow down.
tempered aggression.
Yeah, he can fall back on his aim. So that's good. They answer back immediately. Mirroring the first half. What do you mean you don't like Schwip Schwap?
Two German Counter-Strike gods in Tabson and God B.
Yeah. If they were Greek gods, they'd kill each other.
Ja, lass die Waffen einfach rumrennen. Ja, ich gehe mit.
Or at least try to.
Keeping it all tied up.
Yeah.
9-9.
No investment. So Searson holds on to his money to get his op. Probably going to see some ingenuity on this big spy from the CTs. Set up a few different places outside. Boosting on the top of red. Interesting.
Perfect, in fact.
Oh, that's free.
Yes, down just gets rocked. Good chance there for Keto to have caught TessS. But it's going to be a one and done from Keto's rifle.
That's
Puts pressure on Crimbo, and he delivers. And unlike the first fight outside, we didn't have to deal with anybody else. Crimbo, it's just a one and done.
I love that position. I mean, when they saw the people outside, it makes sense to do.
Oh, the timing here.
Yeah, but Tabson misses them, and this works out to his favor for sure.
Yeah, look, they're playing around with their grenades, fumbling in pieces, and Tabson's not going to let off that W key. Of course, Heroic have the freedom to run if they want to.
There's
but
zero chance they watch their flank after just being there, so...
They're more nervous that Crimbo's pushed up from ramp, so Tabson not going to milk the moment, just stops Cadian, puts the bomb down. More info being heard here. TessS looking to just escape, wants to scamper into this A site. Both players trying to go squeaky. Tabson's going to come back, dropping the bomb. If Shush is able to escape with it, maybe he can get a desperate plant, but that's big, winning a round with only 2 rifles.
They were going to buy anyway. They didn't even force it down. They had 2 rifles to work with. Oh my god.
Yo, God B loves Counter-Strike.
Let's go. He is bringing that energy. So I specifically love this angle. We saw Searson play here before, but in this situation, I like it even more because it's great for the walkouts, first of all. If they flash and stuff, you don't have that much cover. So you have to turn if they throw one that bounces deep. But in this spot where they spotted people outside, it's natural to think, okay, try to take some space at ramp, see what's going on there because we didn't see anything outside. So I think a very nice choice from Big.
Good little bit of back and forth here from Big, not letting Heroic sink their teeth into this T side just yet. Crimbo kicks it off with the only rifle here for Heroic. Drops it in an instant. Searson's going to take up the mantle, but he's going to get swarmed. Point blank by the pistols. Now a second gun in the hands of Heroic.
Can we get a replay on that shot?
Joey? Chop chop.
That looks good. Oh, this angle's really good too. He's got some bait as well.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh.
Crimbo, easy double kill. Now Stound's posting on him though. So the pistols are dead, but the guns are still alive and kicking. I love that Favin doesn't just stay back in control, slides into these fights, and Shush likes it too, because he puts the barrel of the Deeg to the forehead of Favin. Little 1v3 attempt from Shush with 1 kill already collected. It's Keto alone back sight. Oh, that could have been the one. Now Keto's just going to try to buy some time with utility, and Shush ejects through control, potentially up to the A site.
He does have that option, but look who's already here. That is huge from Keto. Well done. Good awareness, man. I mean, he could have stayed there and expected his teammate to go back, but he immediately connected that smoke to Decon. And when he blocked himself off vision, he said, okay, I'm going to get info. Ooh, okay. Oh, wow, okay. Fair play, fair play, fair play.
Nice Deeg from Shush.
We are seeing a ferocious Big. The bear is roaring. You know, when we saw Favin come out of control into that fight, it feels like a little bit like Heroic are fighting Heroic right now, which is kind of a cool look for Big. This is a team we know has always had the utility and everything. But now they don't really have to play like a team that doesn't have the players. They have so much of that next generation talent mixed in with the older generation that's still very relevant and very good. And so, yeah, maybe they should start swinging it, you know, because I think they can keep up. We're seeing the aim be a real problem here for Heroic.
Luckily, money is no longer a problem. Actually, excuse me, spoke too soon. Cadian still with just the P250. What are they doing back there?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly.
Searson, not the most comfortable start to the round with all the utility that's kind of sprinkled around him, but as he goes back, Stoun's posted on it. Searson just kind of getting isolated by all these smokes, Molotovs to start. Yikes! Tabson recovers that.
I can't believe he swung into that while he was reloading. Wow.
I mean, that's supposed to be Tabson dead every day of the week.
Yeah, sure.
A graceful recovery. And so, this round's still a live wire. Favin looking for his fights. They're worried about outside, but it's really Squeaky that's getting emphasized here. 2 CTs back sight, op included. Favin gets there in the end, and then gets his second one much cleaner. Shush is the only piece left of this puzzle.
Damn, that rotation is crazy. 2 out of heaven into the upper site with the op as well. They called out heroic.
Shush gonna be floating around in no man's land. Crimbo trying to spot him. Tabson dead. Nice shot from Shush.
What the hell?
Last bullet snaps it down. That's huge amounts of damage versus Crimbo. And had he hit that headshot, then Shush is in a position to clutch that 1v4.
Yeah, it's almost over, actually.
Damn.
He goes downstairs, and that's where the committing upstairs is actually a mistake, and there's no way you could read that. That was very close. Nice try, Shush. That shot in heaven looked like an online shot, but we're on land.
Right.
Yeah, last bullet on that.
Just snaps it away. His sixth sense telling him he already had the kill.
Bigger fragging right now.
Soll ich auch Ticks so machen?
Guppy is great. Ooh, tough. A little desperate here from Heroic, but Tech 9s are a wonderful thing. It's down from across the room. Oh, but Searson's not going to let Shush get out of there. And Searson loves a ramp wall bang.
Yeah. He already got some practice on the jumpers.
Keto. That's not a comfortable spot to be in. Goes for the wild spray. Tags Cadian down to 53. He's going to call for his 2 teammates to come back into the A site, and Favin point blank. Only good for one of the 2 on Squeaky. Searson caught with a nade out. Oh, Stoun through smoke catching Keto. He knew he was there. But Stoun's done everything to set up Cadian in this clutch. 4 kills from Stoun. A one-man army from the Tech 9 to the AK to the 2v1 for Heroic. Molly to the backside, meant to make things uncomfortable. Tabson's got them burning out right into his crosshair. Finds one, does not expect Stoun to be backside, and for that reason, it's an ace for Stoun.
We were calling in Stoun into question on the desk, looking at the stats so far at the groups. It wasn't looking that great. This is the LAN player of Heroic. Best stats on the year over year. With one hell of a play. Opening duel 1, first of all, of course, in the ace. And then swaps out to all these different guns.
Oh, last bullet on that spray
Every
as well.
single threat dealt with. And he's the reason that Keto smoked himself out, because he showed himself inside a Squeaky. All his teammates die, and it's no problem. And the one final cerebral moment where he doubles up with Cadian on the back of the site. Cadian peeks first so that they don't get both fully cleared. That was actually a move by Cadian to help out Stoun. Let's say he doesn't swing. Then Tabson will see them both.
Cheeky play from Tabson, but looked like Shush had caught his ankles as he went into the room. So, huge potential turning point for this Heroic T side. Comes off the back of Stoun and an ace. But Big are happy to just kind of let this one slide by. Favin's got the Zeus.
We had a big individual effort from Shush in the first half that led to 6-7 straight. And then now we've got Heroic pulling off a similar round, destroying the economy here a big. So that clutch is worth 2 already. Searson not going to be long for this one.
Shush ends that. Heroic are going to play this one very smart, very slowly, clearing out all their corners. Crimbo shouldn't be able to offer much. Shush eventually sees him, and with that, ace site belongs to Heroic. So a one-round game, but it should be a buy right back from Big, seeing as how little they invested in this one.
Yeah.
God, this game is good.
It is
flagged
good.
it. We flagged it before it started as the potential, you know, map of the day.
Yes.
Ooh. The power of Zeus compels you.
They're not watching it.
For I bless thee with electricity.
Who is that? Gandalf or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Whoever you want. Insert wizard name here. Merlin, I think that's...
Yeah, the classic.
Terrorists win.
All right. Yes, the real match begins. It has to be a T-side crawl from Heroic. A little tougher here on Nuke. I think Big are pretty happy to have their CT side of Nuke. It's definitely their strong side. And they will have a good position here where they're probably feeling a little bit better. They know... They have an eye on the money now, too. They have an idea of how much money Big have probably for the rest of the half, if it wasn't already clear. But Searson does get an op. They have enough grenades. We're actually not seeing a single kit out of Big. So not playing for post plans in this round could lead to exciting things.
Very quiet looking CT setup outside. Utility pressure over top. Crimbo kind of left on his own here.
Oh, we've seen this mini sneak from down in the path. He's getting shot off this angle. He can lurk any number of ways, and this one way, he's used it himself, and they flash him through.
Crimbo gets
He's gonna
down.
hear the drop, yeah. Okay, I mean, Snow can just lock him off now, right? If he wants to re-aggress, he has no advantage to try to do it. It's really hard to... You can't flash down either, and he's just going to fall all the way back, so... A little bit of space, one guaranteed here from Heroic.
Looks like Searson's about to get the challenge. Waiting for the ramp hit. Fires blindly. No contact. And now Fire is going to create more space for Heroic. So...
Ooh, that's a lot of space.
Wait, but
loss.
a flank down on secret stairs, I believe.
Yeah, where's Stown at?
Capson's going for Stown. Finds him. And Faven catching Cadian. That was a squeaky peek. So suddenly Heroic, they thought they had a little bit of momentum on both sides of the map, and then they are down to a 3v5 in an instant. 20 seconds means desperation for Heroic as Searson's finally given a chance to line up kills.
Wow.
And while I thought Heroic had hooks in on both sides...
Well, you were right. They did. They had two hooks in, and then Tabson caused the disruption. He was the friction that they needed, and he found the right point of attack. Instead of just rotating blindly to upper stack, or to go for ramp to help out Searson in a spot where he already lost it, he went to go deal with Secret so that either Crimbo could take it back and find out that no one was there, or they get the kill, and they also shut down any lower ramp hit or lower hit, and he can also help out and defend lower if they go by other means. And then it came back to Searson, who was allowed to freely rotate upstairs. A ton of space created on that move by Tabson. A great round from Big, and not the first time in this game that Big have won a round where Heroic have had the positional advantage. By a huge margin, I'll say. A last timeout now called from Heroic.
I'm going to add pressure to this situation for Heroic. No more timeouts. Trailing behind Big. And if they lose this map, then when we get to the gauntlet next week, they will find themselves having to play G2, Vitality, and Navi.
Yeah,
That's their specific run. Whoever loses this map, that's what's waiting for you.
That's a major playoffs run. You know, that would rival the best of them at that point. So that's not where you want to be.
And then let's add even just a tidbit more with, obviously, fall finals being on the line, confirmed in Copenhagen. You know what that means to Heroic. Home soil. Time to crank it up a notch.
Maybe they'll have more fans this time.
Maybe. You can dream. Molly outside the hut. Smoke on the backside. They're going to try to just smash their way through this, and so far, so good. Shush comes through with another.
Wow.
Full magazine emptied by Tabson. No, one kill comes out for Big.
Oh, this is a free bomb plant. Is there a possible... Oh! Bomb
No,
gets
it's not.
stopped through the smoke.
A second. Taps and taps away. And as he tries to catch Jabby on that vent, he's not going anywhere till Shush puts him to bed. And Crimbo is left. And as he falls down off of this rooftop, he's going to get spotted from Secret. 13 health, never going to be enough. Heroic just swarm that site like locusts.
That's crazy. What a call. What a call. A brave one to do. I mean, if they lose there, no money. They're going to be saving. And this is a round where Tesses is coming into it with 5 kills, and he gets 2 entries on the upper site. So that's why you got to keep that scoreboard unbound and just play it round by round, because any little bit of impact, especially when the pressure's on at the end of the game, can make a world of difference. And here's one of those plays. Now, it looked like Tapson was going to come through with another X-Factor maneuver after a series of them already this game, but that gets shut down. There's just too many players dead already for that to matter, even though it's 2 frags. So the hype is back. And the pistols are out again for Big.
Hype is back, the guns are gone, and the pressure continues. Another one straight into this A site. Keto's going to make sure Tesses can only get the one. But Heroic knew what they wanted, and they got exactly what they wanted. Little X Factor here for Tapson as he wraps around the hut. It's down, not quite looking. And now there's the Heaven Peak. Crimbo decides not to. Goes through the fire instead. They're on high alert now, and so not much you can ask of him to deliver there. And Cadian from a distance ties this up. So just like we had it earlier, tight game all the way, back and forth rounds. 3 away from either team's win.
And 2 explosive land calls there to hit the upper side as fast as possible. And we saw them slowly lose an eco round where they went into the outside stack from Big, and Big were anticipating something towards the extremities and tried to set up in a similar way. Upper site was vulnerable, so they, went for scissors twice and they won. And now it's more even kill, but still, this is still a much better buy for Heroic, right? I mean, Big are very long grenades. They have no armor on Searson, no kits once again. Oof. Not a single Molotov to slow this round down.
Limitations here, clearly. Luckily, they don't have to slow down too much. Cadian just likes the angle he's posted on. Negligible nade versus Stown. He's going to keep holding, waiting for that secret pop-up. It's Yabby with the opening. Keto's killed. Favin, nothing more than the one. And then Tesses. You talked about that. 7 kills at one point, and now multiple 2Ks happening inside of this A bomb site in the last 3 rounds.
Yes, 5 kills in total. And 2 of them rifle rounds. And just like that, Heroic are going to be in the lead. There's no way to get back into this. No nades, no armor on Searson, no kits to work with. Everything to save. And they're being hunted down. And this is one of those important saves, right? This will make a huge difference on this next round. So we want to keep a close watch on the events to follow. Down sussing out all these positions. Wants to come in slowly. Teammates running in behind him, so they kind of blow his cover in this sense, but still, it looks like they'll get a fight.
Trades now, though. Higher potential. Crimbo.
Oh, shot missed.
He needed that one. Did he ever? Searson, 20 HP as Stown dies to the bomb, and that's the open save on the B site.
Where's the op? Oh, he can't find it.
Uh-oh.
And he handed that over to the armored player.
Nice pack mentality here from Heroic. Just 3 players side by side.
Ooh.
Look at that recovery.
Man, 4th quarter plays here from Stown. When it matters the most. Him and Yabby. That was huge. And it's just been upper hits.
Yep.
Over and over
3
again.
in a row.
Yep.
And it felt like maybe it wasn't going to be just because of the pacing. Not that they had the utility to slow down a rush if it was coming.
They skipped everything else, but they still threw some of their nades outside to make sure that some vision lines were denied, to make sure there couldn't be any stacks. Clear out the red container first and foremost, and make sure there was no one peeking from secret, and then they went back into it. And they kept it very light. No telegraphable grenades this time. Just as explosive, but mainly on contact. Maybe a single flash in that.
Look at this.
Oh.
Absolute dismal situation for Big. Single M4 on Fav, and he's going to have to go God mode. And if you know Heroic, they don't let off that gas pedal. So immediately we've got Stown downstairs.
How slippery was that? They didn't even see him. No one even shot a bullet in his direction.
Nope. like an eel. Comes up, deals with Tapson. Again, we only expect anything from Favin if Big can catch a kill or two. But Heroic are all over this map. Tessus would also love to find some of these fights. Just as quickly as he goes downstairs, he's ready to hit upper.
Now they're getting played with. They're letting him look for more. You know, if he sniffs out a stack and sees even two people at the same time, that's just enough. They have so many players left alive. They can hit either place. They're nice and flexible at this moment. Oh.
Do it.
Oh, he's got the spam. Oh, he almost killed him. God damn. And now the upper hit ensues.
Yep.
It was all a ruse.
One pistol back sight. Measly USP in the hands of Keto. Nothing he can do about his destiny.
Wow. Unbelievable amounts of clutch coming out from this team to bring this back.
Damn. Not only does Stound continue that momentum this whole entire time, instrumental moments from Shush in the first half. Cannot forget that, right? After that huge start from Big, yeah, we saw the adaptations, but we didn't see the big individual moments until Shush gets his 4K outside of Vent one round. That's what allows for Heroic to recover with a one-round lead in the first half. And then Tessus just out of the blue.
Yes. And we can say, I think the best thing we can say about Big, unfortunately, if they lose, is that they won a number of situations where Heroic played incredibly well, and they still got ahead of them. You know, from 3-5 situations to losing huge amounts of positioning on the map. They still found ways back in. That was the best part about all of it. But none of that matters. They don't actually close out the map itself. And now we're burgeoning on that territory. Potentially the last round of the game, Heroic full strength. We haven't seen full nades from Big in the last 5, even when they have been buying. And it's the same story again. Searson is the only one with a kit. Okay, he gets head armor. This is their best buy. This is the best buy that we've seen so far. They're trying to stand against 4 straight, round 29, and they can defend against this. And it's another explosive call.
That it is. Cadian wants it fast. He gets caught. Taps in point blank. Here's Favin from the rafters. And Big, finally with a buy, finally with a little bit of control. They put a quick end to that hit into the A site. Stound getting shot through the walls. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Except for round 30. This one goes the distance. A slight improvement from their first showing. 2 excellent games of Nuke between these two teams. And this second one's not over yet.
Yes, this one's just been fireworks from beginning to end. And there's a chance here, of course, for Big to bring it to OT. And they have every right to. They have the tools now. Again, they come in with their best buy and they win. Maybe it's not a coincidence. They also catch this silo play that they did in the past. And they have exposed the fact that Heroic have relied on the upper hits in the last few rounds to be able to win.
Let's see how fast Heroic want to play it. That last one tried to keep it quick.
I think Cadian tried to spot that cross. Ate a flash, which was perfectly thrown. So Searson might have a small advantage on the opening engagement.
Yeah, but Cadian has a teammate and Searson doesn't. Trade potential here from Heroic. Add Tessus to that equation. Smoke in front of Searson, and all of a sudden there's a huge question mark in terms of outdoors.
Yep. Not going light here.
Tabson not really looking to come up through secret either. Instead, he tucks back towards the decontamination doors.
Wow. Another kind of contemporary round here from Heroic with the silent outside cross. The L smokes come down. There is no pressure from Big on the cross itself. And we don't even have the early rotation downstairs from Crimbo. They're waiting for upstairs, and Searson dies?
That's big. Cadian, he lets his teammates move forward, just waits, and then sure enough, ends Searson. So Big fighting for overtime in a 4v5. It's gonna fall on Tabson. He's point blank, and it is clean. 2 kills at least to recover that man advantage. Yabi's not a part of this lower hit yet, though. And I think they made some noise. He's on high alert.
Oh, his lurk could mean the world, and he can kind of take his time with it, but at the same time, they're even numbers, they're not up, so he can't go that slowly. Oh,
wow.
He just misses them. No,
He comes back.
Favin doesn't look.
And now that's the A site wide open. Yabi makes the call. Heroic makes the redirection. And with utility on his feet, Keto burned to 68 HP. That's a plant back sight. Cadian wants more, finds Crimbo, and Heroic surviving the second test from Big. Keto down to the offer as Cadian finds himself 3 kills in round 30. A nice late comeback from Heroic in this T side and the CT side. Big starting strong in each half, but ultimately today is the day of the Danes.
That's tough. You know, when we zoom out from this, it's just a loss. We look at the map itself, Big, they definitely tried their hardest. Had a good start, won some great rounds, and had both pistols, and still couldn't do it. What a map from Heroic.
Yeah, and shout out Tesses, because sometimes it's quality, not quantity. Those 3 consecutive rounds where he's hitting that A site, 2 of them gun rounds, those 2K pop-offs, that's what they needed. A little X factor from Tesses to give them their second win of the day.
I walked up to Cadian and just went, whew, because that was a close one again, mate. Jesus, you like to make it very difficult on Nuke.
I mean, the temperature here in the Blast Studio is hot, but for some reason it seems to get even hotter when we play. You know, the game is so close, Big is playing extremely well, and it required quite a big comeback on the T side of Nuke.
It really did. And okay, let's look at one thing, right? The turning point there, at least for me and how I viewed it, was when Stown on your force buy, got the ace out there. Obviously, it hyped you guys up again as well. How much did that mean to you guys?
Oh, a lot. Like, I don't think Martin is completely satisfied with how he's been performing in the first 2 games, and it's just so typical Martin. You know, when you really need him, when you really need that extra 5-10%, he's one of those few 2, 3, 4 players in the world who can actually pull that kind of stuff off. So, yeah, thank you, Martin, for creating the chance, you know, for the comeback, but also kudos to the rest of the guys, because making the comeback when the pressure's on, when you're sweating, you're down T-side Nuke, 14-12 or whatever it is, everyone needs to make the correct moves every single step, and my boys did it, so I'm proud.
And now, right, you're going into the rematch against Faze to try and top the group. Obviously, last time around, it wasn't the Heroic we expected to see. There wasn't too much of a fight in it. They had control. Are you going to choose a different map this time, though, hopefully? You know, you rematched on Big, you know, you're going to rematch again here on Faze. We can go for something different?
I know my boy Kerrigan, you know, the Batman, he's sitting out there watching the monitor, waiting for what I'm going to say. So I have no words on the veto, but I think it's a good chance, you know. We play against the best team in the world. We want to be up there, and there's no better chance than beating those guys. I think the last one, we lost like a clutch with the defuse, half a second. They won on 2 against Rubs, was some miscommunication by the dead guys. And yeah, I think, you know, I'm not saying that if we remove that, we're going to win, but I'm saying that the game was very close, and I believe we can do it again. So let's see how it goes.
Let's see how it goes. Now, I've got one other question for you, and this comes from the Blast.tv viewers. They get to have a little vote when they're watching on our special platform out here. And it says, where were you 10 years ago? It can be in CS or in life. What were you doing 10 years ago? Because today is the birthday of CSGO.
Like exactly 10 years ago, or just approximately?
Well, if you can remember.
Oh, yeah, I remember. No, like I think 10 years ago, I just started playing. Like, obviously, I was playing Counter-Strike Source before, but I was trying to make my way in the competitive scene. Qualified for the first major at the end of, like, I think it was like September or something, or December, so something like that. But yeah, honestly, I don't know. Like, Twitch chat, where were you guys? No, where were you?
I don't know where they were either. I couldn't remember where I was. You did a good job of it. But overall, let's keep things moving. Let's see how this next game's going to go, because it's the final game.
Despite a hot start from Big coming into both halves, more crucially, more impactfully, it was Heroic that were able to close them out. No revenge on the cards for the German Giants, but man, we said Starn's name and he delivered in spades, didn't he, Pimp?
That was a monster performance coming out of good Martin right here. Cadian said it pretty well. You know, he's one of the few players in the world that you can rely on when it gets down to the nitty-gritty. Had a fantastic showing, not only on the CT side, but also on the T side. I also do want to highlight, I spent the last round behind the Heroic guys, and he was the one who made the call to basically outmaneuver Big. In the 3v3, he said it would have been nice if we go up through the vent and we split inside. He was the one who made the call. He was the one who took charge, and that is what he offers to this lineup as well. People forget it. He is the secondary voice within Heroic. Not only is he by far the best fragger on the team, but he's also the secondary caller. He is, as we said, one of the best players in the entire world.
One of the very best. He changed the course of this game on his own. The Tech 9 round, when he gets the ace, changes the entire course of the game we just witnessed. Stone won that by himself.
Yeah, some incredible moments, some incredible aces coming out of Stan as well. Was it just that, though, that allowed Heroic to be pushing this one over the line? Because Maniac, you were wishing for a cleaner game. I don't think we necessarily got it, but despite that, it was a good game to be watching.
Yeah, look, I got egg on my face, but I'm glad. I'm glad, because this was a messy game. There was circles of a game. You say, was it only Stan? No, it would be unfair for the Heroic side to say it was just Stan. He was obviously one of the main engine of that win. I just think overall, Heroic, once money stabilized, had a better game plan than Big. You can just look at the numbers. They tell the truth. 5-1, 6-1 start for Big on both halves. I think Cadian did a great job manufacturing solutions, and he had his guys with him. Shout out to Connor as well. He mentioned Tessis, who was silent for the most part of the game, but just suddenly, towards the very, very end, found a couple of very impactful kills. Just remember, you can be at the bottom of the scoreboard, but you can still leave your mark on the game.
Found the weakness of Big. Those 3 inside pushes in a row, that was sort of the weakness for Big, unfortunately. And that's why they kind of dropped the ball, because overall, I would give it to Big. They played a good game of Counter-Strike. You talk about the good starts. Sure, that was a big part of the reason why the game ended up being so tense, ended up being so close. But you got to be good in order to get off such a good start. And then once again, I want to highlight Tapson just a little bit. 3 games in a row, he's been playing absolutely stellar Counter-Strike. He's the voice of the team. He's the leader of the team. He recently re-signed a new contract with Big, so he's got to stay there for a long, long time.
They ain't letting him go.
No, I would love to see Tapson in a better team. I would love to see Tapson lifting trophies. No, because that's where he's supposed to be. He is a world-class player as well. Unfortunately, not enough for Tapson this time around, but I still think Big can be proud of the performance they showed today. It was
100%.
very, very close in both their losses.
Yeah, it was kind of heartbreaking for them because we were asking for a better T-side. We only saw 4 rounds last time they faced up against the Heroic just a few hours ago. It was a way better start for them as well. And we really do have to give a lot of credit to Tapson, rather.
Of course.
Giving some firepower to them.
Brilliant, once again, on an individual standpoint. Again, the beginning of the game, I think, was the main reason why Big got so many rounds. As soon as Heroic stabilized, you can see they caught on fire as well. So Big still struggled to pierce through the wall once it had been predicted, but I mean, shout out to Tapson. How many times are we going to say this? One of the best fragging IGLs we have out there.
I love how we had a little rumour in the off-season as well. Somebody threw it out into the ether that perhaps he might be joining an org that begins with G and ends in 2.
He's never leaving Big. He's never leaving Big.
Yeah, and literally instantly Big were like,
nope,
5-year contract for you
they even
and
joked
Gobby
about
as
it.
well. Yeah,
they were
I
trolling,
love
like,
the bait.
big announcement coming soon.
It's a shame, isn't it?
Dummkopf.
I want to see Tapson lift trophies. I want to see Tapson win.
Well, potentially, this lineup might be doing it. They aren't out of the competition just yet, Pimp. Obviously, they have a bit of a tougher seed going into the gauntlet. That will be next week. But I do want to hear from Gobby and his thoughts coming off of that game.
I've got Gobby with me, and okay, Big have taken the exit here in 3rd place. Again, though, so close against the Heroic side on Nuke. Do you, as a person who's very smart at Counter-Strike, the in-game leader style of you, do you like the idea of playing the same map again against your opponent like that?
Yeah, normally yes. I think for the team who lost the first game is sometimes easier to play the second time the same map. It felt like it definitely that it was easier this time, but still close, of course, yeah.
And when we say close, it was incredibly close, because we look at their first half on the CT side, right? You guys actually did better this time around. You took some more T rounds from them. You're thinking, okay, look, this is nicer overall. Then we come and swap over. We see them on their T side, but you guys had it. You had them pinned down. But all of a sudden, that force spike comes out from Stown, right? And probably at that point, you were like, okay, these things can happen, right? Armor, upgraded pistols. But do you feel like that touched you guys at all mentally? Was that a point where you saw anything change within the team?
I would say it would have been definitely easier to win this round, but it was still early in the game, like at least in the second half when they won this round. So we had also won eco round 1. So then I was pretty sure that this is like shipping now towards our side, and I felt also like that we had it. But then they won 2 kind of forced rounds in a row. So yeah, that's why. It broke us a little bit mentally after that round, maybe, but we still gave everything we had. And yeah, of course, it was like if we wouldn't have made so many mistakes, it would have been easier. But probably they will say the same. So that's why it's a close game.
Well, mistakes are made all the time in Counter-Strike, right? It's just about minimising them overall. But what I also want to ask around is just the fact that your progression here at the tournament, the games you had, it's the first tournament where you've got your full 5. Keto's now back in. Are you happy and confident with the roles and everything you've decided on it? Or have you learned something from this where you go, well, actually, okay, maybe we need to adjust this?
Definitely. I think I learned some things where we could adjust some things. We have some days now where we can work on this kind of stuff. Yeah, like you sometimes see stuff differently in practice, differently in a real game, and we will definitely evaluate what we can do and what we can learn from this, and I think we will learn definitely something out of it.
and that's what it's all about, learning. Now, in terms of learning, you and Tabson, your relationship, your time together from when you were the IGL to now you being on the coach and this side of things. When I interviewed Tabson, he just said it's like a big difference maker. Nothing bad towards the other coaches, but obviously the bond and the experience you have together. How important is that, do you think, in terms of being an in-game leader with your coach? Because I think some coaches have a different style of impact, and yet every time when you call a timeout, we can see a change, we can see a pace change, and it seems like you and Tabson are very good at quickly making that decision.
Yeah, I think we have a good synergy, but of course you need to have a really, really good synergy with your coach. It's definitely something you can have different impact as a coach. Definitely, my impact is most of the time more motivated and like motivation and also in-game stuff.
Okay.
And when I see like Tabson makes a call and I have an idea what to add, maybe I take a timeout then, or if I see something which we should be aware of more. I try to take the timeout by myself, but sometimes Tabson also takes it like, I think we need a timeout. Let's hear what I have to say. Some stuff it's like sometimes very hard to take the perfect timeout and make the perfect call, but we're working on it as well.
Is there ever a time where you guys maybe disagree? You know, you say like, actually, oh no, you'd want to do this, but he wants to run something else? Because obviously, I'm talking about synergy, but obviously not all the time you're going to be aligned.
I mean, not in the timeout, I would say, but outside of the game. Because in timeout, I'm more like, when I have a really good idea and Tabson feels like, this is like, I'm not saying this because of, like he will listen. But if he has a call and I see like things his way where I can adjust some things in the call where we play kind of his kind of strategy, then he also listens. So there's no disagreeing in the timeout part, but of course outside of the game we have discussions, theory crafting stuff, and this is totally normal, yeah.
And you still have your geeking out moments, where you guys like to try and see what other things you can find in game, new stuff?
More or less. It's more like at the moment a lot of stuff is revealed already. Yes. I would say not everything, of course, but we're working on like combining stuff and timings and all the stuff. Yeah, but at the moment it's like putting first the team together, like the roles, and after that these kind of stuff will come out more, I think.
Very nice. Now I also want to ask you, Tuscan, you want to see that come into the map pool?
Of course. That was one of my favorite maps from 1.6, and I would love to.
I really want to see it come in as well. And another thing, while I've got you here, is the fact that the academy team for you guys, we're seeing more and more teams be able to kind of take from their academy team, find some strength. For you guys, you found Crimbo, but he came up into your main roster so fast. Is there some more hidden gems within Germany for you guys to pick from? Because that had always been the problem for the German scene, right? That you didn't have these young players really coming up.
Definitely. A lot of players from the academy team, even everyone can make it because they're doing very good improvements. And Crimbo maybe was not as long as you think in the academy team, but we had him like an eye on him 2 years ago already.
Oh wow!
And we knew that he will be probably we thought that he could be playing in the main team, but we knew that he was not 100% ready. And even when we picked him up, we're like, okay, maybe he's not ready, but let's put him into the cold water and let's see if he can swim. And he can swim pretty well.
Did he beat your expectations? Because I remember on them first events, right, the huge clutches, the confidence he had, and that's a crazy thing, right? You get some of these young players now where they don't fear who they're playing on the server. They don't care about the names. They're just playing the game. Yeah,
definitely. It's like, I thought he would take more time, but it's getting faster and faster. His role is getting more important for the team. And already it's like he looks like an experienced player, even if he is not as experienced as we or as you think. And this is very important for us. And he's doing a great job so far.
Well, you're doing a great job at the same time as well. Gob, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you very much for the insight, and we'll keep things moving. Much love, man.
Thank you.
Really great to get to hear some insight from Godby, particularly on CSGO's 10th birthday, no less. But it's going to be a tough road ahead for Big, because I feel like they've potentially, drawn one of the toughest roads going through the gauntlet next week.
You think so? What makes you say that?
I mean, just G2, Vitality, then Na'Vi, if they manage to get over any of those.
Listen, it couldn't be any worse for Big, especially when you consider they were so close beating Heroic twice, but they weren't quite good enough today. Heroic were the better team, so now they have to do it the hard way. And we know Big, I think Corner said it a couple of times throughout the cast as well, Big have never ever been to the showdown, so there's still something to be said about Big being a bit of an upside dog in this bracket.
And do we really believe that G2 is ready in a best of 3 right now? Are we really not giving Big a chance in best of 3 against G2? I mean, we have seen weaknesses coming from the side of JKS and Co. I don't think it's a done deal.
But then I am doubting the vitality.
No, of course they won't make it.
Forward.
There's Zaiwu over there. Fire.
Yeah, no. I mean, we're not biased over here on the desk at all. I mean, how much stock are you giving in Big to be making it through here?
Quite a lot, I'd say. I think the Counter-Strike they showed today was good. It's one of the teams that haven't really made a big roster change. I know implementing Keto into the lineup again. They even said it's not going to take too much time because he's been there before. So we go into best of 3s. We're still early in the season. I'd expect Big to be competitive in pretty much any given game they're playing. Maybe outside against Navi with Simple. That's going to be a tough one.
Well, we're going to be seeing Heroic taking on Faze, none other in our Group C winners matchup. Of course, the winner of this one netting themselves the top seed heading into the gauntlet, potentially the easier route to the full finals in Royal Arena. It's going to be going down in just a few. Don't go anywhere. It's a track we've heard before today, but this time Heroic hoping to remix things up. Faze taking the W earlier on, 16-10, but Pimper, you're arguing that the scoreline may not be indicative of exactly what played out on the server today.
I mean, Faze were the better team, and Faze did deserve to win the game, but 16-10 suggested it was a kind of one-sided game, which I didn't think was the case. There was a couple of rounds, especially a Kerrigan and Chico, where I remember him dropping down the vents and ruining a lot for Heroic. That round goes the way of Heroic, and we all of a sudden have a new scenario, so there was possibilities for Heroic to make it an even closer game. So yeah, 16-10, maybe rightfully so in terms of the scoreboard, but there was plenty of options for Heroic to make it even closer.
Look, I agree. I'm not saying Heroic didn't lose silly rounds against FaZe, but they've lost silly rounds over the course of this day. And I think it is an inherent weakness that they have now as a team. They're not quite yet polished, quite not yet finished. There are mistakes being made, and against a team like FaZe, they'll exploit it.
Well, Pimp, it turns out you and Danny share the same brain, because Mahone has got that exact moment that you were bringing up to break down for us. What are we seeing here, Danny?
Yeah, I'm so glad that you brought that up, Pimp. So this round here is basically just a showcase of how good FaZe are at really manipulating rotations, and this is kind of like a set strategy in my mind. So what we're going to see first here is I just want to lay the context down on Nuke specifically. A lot of the time you talk about, working the outside area, using outside smokes, but more importantly, it's actually more important to consider how do you actually work the door vent area. And this round is a perfect example of that. So first we'll see Kerrigan is going to throw the outside smokes, the typical double smoke set that we're starting to see a lot more commonly nowadays. And they're basically able to put Rain outside. And let's just make sure we remember this for later. So they put Rain outside with those smokes, and Kerrigan comes towards his door position. Now what we see here is that Kerrigan, because he's in this door position, he can actually hear the rotations of the CTs through the vent. That's why this spot is so important, all thanks to the smoke that they threw earlier and Rain crossing towards Secret. Now the more creative thing here is that FaZe, with that, they actually push towards ramp. They're going to pressure towards ramp. You're going to see you're going to see that's what this does to the rotations of Heroic. They push towards ramp. They get Tesses down towards that ramp position, and now Heroic are in a bit of a tough spot because what you'll see on the map here in a second, what you'll see on the map is FaZe now have this outside position. They now have this ramp position, and typically for the CTs, when you see that they have ramp and secret, it means that it's very likely going to be a B split. But what Kerrigan being here towards this vent position does is it helps counter CTs who try to reinforce that lower site. You'll see that he's able to track Ston, who's going to push, or he's going to rotate down the vents. And this is really good timing, but it's actually very planned. The fact that Kerrigan is able to track this rotation from this door position, he gets that kill. He's now towards this vent position. He spots a second one. And because Heroic have lost their rotator, what ends up happening now is that he's forced to actually move up back towards the ramp because they've lost their rotator. It means now that they have to find a way to reaggress and find another way back into the round. And all FaZe do here is they just simply hold for him, knowing that he's probably going to come back up. They get the kill. And then lastly, what we said about Rain earlier, who crossed towards outside, he's now in this spot towards Secret, where he knows now that Yabby, he's got way too much to deal with. He has to worry about the players coming from ramp and the players coming from Secret potentially. And Rain, he just gets his kill on a player just completely unsuspecting. And that's basically how this round breaks down. Once Brokey gets down towards this lower position, it's basically round over in a 4v2. So this is really just an example of how, FaZe, they're really good at constructing these strategies that make use of these different areas of the map where a lot of the time teams like to focus on outside, but it's actually that vent door area that's actually important as well.
Really insightful stuff there, Danny. I'm really looking forward to seeing if, Heroic are going to be a bit more prepared for those strategies coming out. Intrigued to see where they're going to be able to handle them a bit better.
They'll have to. As excellent breakdown from Danny. And this also highlights something that is very important for everybody to understand. You could watch this round and make the mistake of thinking this comes down to the timing that Kerrigan finds. You might think this is the only reason they win, because he's got a good timing in the smoke. But that is not the case. It's just a domino that triggers everything, because he's played chess the whole round. He's taken parts of the map with Rain outside, with the ramp push, and all he needs is one of the few elements to go in his favor. And once that happens, that's it. Triggers a reaction, he's in position, and he can close the round. So don't be blindsided by a cross smoke. It's actually a very well constructed round, as Danny was talking about.
That's the stress you're playing under when you're going up against FaZe Clan, right? You miss that one time and you will instantly be punished. I'm a little bit cursed to this video that's going on right now. We don't get Nuke from Heroic. Okay. That is a pleasant surprise, yeah. Inferno between FaZe and Heroic. Heroic is a great Inferno team. We've seen FaZe be more or less unstoppable in periods in the first half of the year on the map of Inferno, so I'm very curious to see what Heroic have planned out here. We've seen Danny give us a few examples already on both teams with new strats, new way of taking map control. I expect to see something like that here on Inferno as well. Two very competitive teams, two very good teams on Inferno, and a great map to hit today.
Well, before we do get into the nitty-gritty of Inferno, I am interested to hear what Robin thinks heading into this final map of the day.
Robin, you guys have so far aced it as coming into the first event. You're going up against Heroic again. You already told me that Inferno's coming into play. Are you happy with how that one's going down?
I mean, Inferno have always been good for us, right? And I think Heroic is happy to play another map than Nuke. Yeah. I mean, it was a tough first game against Heroic, but we just have to keep doing what we're doing good and go from there.
In terms of that, do you think the reason it ended up on Inferno, obviously, like you said, you were confident with it, but do you think they're looking at like the first game you played and trying to just take anything away they can in a desperate way to try and get the win?
I think they would be down to play Nuke as well. We had the option to play Nuke or Inferno, so we went for Inferno as it's a comfortable map for us to play.
Yeah. Very nice. And right now, when I'm seeing the guys' face, they don't look like they're stressed at all at any point. Everyone seems happy. How's it when you're reviewing what's going on? You're seeing from the I guess the above the eyes of them all.
Yeah, I mean, first tournament though after the break can be stressful. It can be a bit panic, but I think the guys who had the communication is on point. I think we're calm. I think everyone is delivering. So I'm happy to see that, of course.
It makes your life a little bit easier as well.
Well, looks like James is a magician and he took Robin
That was pretty cool,
somewhere
not gonna lie.
with
I almost
him.
I wanted to go and walk there to see what the hell happened.
James
My
up to
next
his
trick,
magic
I'm gonna
tricks again.
disappear.
Yeah, I hope Robin doesn't disappear during the game at least. But Inferno, that is a really curious one to be throwing into the mix, particularly, Robin saying feeling very comfortable coming into this one. I want to get your predictions, guys. Do you see FaZe walking away with this one?
I'm very confident in a FaZe W. I had them as winner of the group. I was just wondering what kind of FaZe we would see in the first few rounds of this event. I think they've already answered my questions. They've convinced me. I think they're playing their good Counter-Strike. It's going to be enough to handle Heroic.
I'll buy the FaZe win, but I think it's going to be a close one. Inferno is always close. Heroic is a decent Inferno team. Yabi is a great addition to this lineup when it comes to Inferno as well. So don't be surprised if it gets into the double digits.
Yeah, Inferno undoubtedly the perfect map to be ending out this Group C, the final map that we will be seeing going down at the first stage of the BLASTPremier full groups. It's going to be between FaZe and Heroic to see if the Danes can get revenge over their brethren. Let's see how it goes down after this.
Welcome back, everybody. One final best of one for the initial 3 days of best of ones. We're figuring out all our seeding, and at the moment, it's a tough run for Big, but we'll see where these last two teams slot in. It's Faze, and it is Heroic, and the favorites have to be Faze.
They are by a huge margin, actually.
Yeah, very quick work of their first two opponents today, one of which was this guy on screen and his team. But having survived that test from Big, we'll see if Heroic can transition that success into a second attempt at taking down some of the world's very best.
Yeah, 3.2 odds for Heroic. Honestly, that's a good bet. Like that's crazy in favor of Faze in a best of one, and I think it's for sure true. I think most people would agree Faze should win this. But this early on into the season, it's just kind of surprising how well Faze are just playing straight out. Like they have kind of every excuse to just be a little bit worse, but they aren't.
Simply not.
They're just not.
You think Inferno could maybe be one of the factors that skew those stats a little more in favor?
Oh, for sure. That's true. It's just that that information comes so late. You know, it's like I think no matter what, it makes sense that Faze would be favored. But yeah, Inferno will help that out. So we'll see what Heroic. It's just we don't see them play Inferno that much. So let's see what happens.
Woo. Shush with a quick headshot, and Cadian off the rafters with one, but it's Brokey. It's Brokey with the 2K. A man of few words, but a man of many kills. Plant in the backside, and the retake gets going. We've got no kit on the 3 players currently alive. Tess going to try to swing it around short, and he wins that duel. So suddenly, Twist's feeling a little more isolated. He's got his best friend Brokey behind him. Comfortable inside of the pit, especially with a gush like that. Twists knows he should win that duel, finishes the kill. Brokey to the clutch. 1v2 attempt versus Stown, who's now just running desperately towards Brokey. He knows it's got to be a quick kill, point blank, and he'll land that. But what about time?
I don't know. Can he get it?
I don't know.
No, he's no kid. Okay. Yeah. So the bomb will go off. That'll be it. It'll be Faze up around off the 2 entries. I think that's probably the most important part for Brokey, with the 3 kills in total, of course. Clean tap on lane. Did an interview with Brokey on Media Day where I said, hey, Brokey, what'd you do on the break? And he said, nothing. And he didn't even say nothing. He just literally just didn't say anything. And then I was like, did you play CS? He's like, nope. Tried to play no CS on the break. I was like, oh, did you watch any demos? Like, nope, just try to get it out of my mind completely. I was like, okay, did you play Fortnite? And he goes, yep. And I was like, you didn't play Fortnite? And he's like, nope. And I was like, okay, so what did you do? No answer. So still to this day, just 3 days later, have no idea what Brokey did on his break.
No clue.
But what we do know is whatever he did worked.
Yeah, that it did. Didn't skip a beat. Ooh, Shush. Runs up through Boiler Room, caught by Rops. At least he took one down before he dies.
You played Roblox?
Do you think I played Roblox?
No, Brokey.
Oh, Brokey.
Not everything's about you.
Sorry. I thought you said you. I don't think so. I feel like Brokey's that kind of guy who plays anything other than Counter-Strike and just goes, shit game.
Yeah.
Switches back to CS.
Just like owns it PUBG and then leaves. All right. Well, still good situation for Heroic. Could be better. I mean, there's no one on the side, so Moto Smoke comes down, Arch Smoke comes down, and then it's kind of actually hard to get back into this. I think we're going to see those cascading over the site right now. Yeah.
Drops. A little uncomfortable. Tess actually getting away with the pistol kill just as he does the same. We've got Twist and Brokey again in a 2vx, but this time they're outnumbered. Not quite outgunned, though. They equalize very quickly. Twist's keeping it clean as can be. And then Cadian's going to crawl up on short. Twists. Easy does it.
Nicely done. Very sharp. Mauled them right there. Could have lost at every single turn in that situation. They set up Rops to go for the kill, and then he didn't get his. But they still pulled it off.
You seeing this Cadian monitor angle?
No.
Bro.
Is it tilted up?
No. It's... Or yes, it's tilted upwards. But like, severely. You'll see. We'll get it back.
Like he's looking down at it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's how you should have it.
It looked more steep from the other angle.
I got you.
Either I've been fooled or I lied to you guys, but it looked extreme. But yes, that is how it should be. your eyes strain less when looking down. The running theory is because we're hunter-gatherers. You would have been looking at the forest floor for thousands of years.
Trying to find berries and grubs.
Roots. Probably lizards.
Ants.
No, that's the feud of the future.
Feud of future.
We love eating bugs here in Europe.
What kind?
Caterpillars.
They have butterflies in Europe? I don't even know. I haven't seen any. Nothing good over here.
Surely.
You seen any monarchs flying around?
No, those are North American.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, on the brink of extinction. You know, insects go extinct faster than any other creature on Earth at the moment. Fun fact. Or
Good.
scary fact. Really.
Get rid of them.
Get rid of them. Oh, man. All right. 2 kills, and Stown actually steals one right at the end. So I was thinking nothing noticeable or nothing notable, but nope, Stown with 1 at least.
Coming off a big map from Stown. You tuned in earlier and you're like, oh, can't wait to watch Stown play. And think, oh, damn, Stown not doing great. Well, if you watched the last map, you saw Stown playing great.
Lights out.
Direct impact on the outcome of that match for sure. With his T-side ace, clutch, and the start of that comeback. 2 ops. So we kick off round number 4. As the other value of Stown. The GOAT hybrid. Which I jokingly said about config. I'm going to give that to Stown.
Gets hit up by Kerrigan's frag, but stays ahead of the fire. Oh, that's a nice nade. Rops gets hit by it hard from boiler into the other entrance of apartments. And they evacuate it. Cadian, ooh, tagged by the smoke grenade. That's gonna give him a gap, maybe? Yeah, he sees the legs. Smidgen of an angle here to work with, but already 2 players across. Brokey has yet to join them.
I think they heard it hit him.
They seem wary of it.
Yeah.
Good kill from Shush at the very least. Yabby gets into the bomb site. Cadian won't be able to find a second because Kerrigan's so quickly there on the trade. Stown, the second op of Heroic this round, has lost track of Kerrigan, who's about to give him the old CT spawn wraparound.
Damn, this is really interesting. Okay, we'll see how this pans out. And Stown, he drops the timing. He'll look back, and Kerrigan goes into library. They're clearly looking for each other, and Stown misses his chance. But it still shows the intention that they're going to try to end A.
Still 2 CTs in sight, but it's Tesses also in CT spawn. So Robson reigned this time in the 2vx on A site, and Shush very neatly tidies up these last few kills. Shush has been pretty impactful so far this map.
Definitely. And Nuke as well had a big round for himself on the eco in the first half. I like how they peaked Cadian, which is a small thing, but Cadian on the arch angle looking into mid. Brokey peeks him with the op, and typically you wouldn't want to lose your opper, right? But with Kerrigan being closer, if Kerrigan peeks second and gets the trade, he also peeks with tempo and can get into CT. Whereas if Kerrigan peeked first and Brokey got the kill, he wouldn't be able to wrap arch right away.
Nope, no line up there. Yabby wants a little bit more. Good control for Heroic here on Banana, using 3 players to really establish it. But remember, that AK in the hands of Twists, capable. Oh, nice timing. They actually catch Stown trying to go for his jump.
Man, they popped him instantly.
Brokey has an op now. That's a big threat looming on the edge of this B site. Tesses waiting for the flash pop, comes wide. Gets a quarter of Brokey off, but now he's just entirely alone behind that new box. Cadian sprinting over through the CT spawn. Tesses gonna hold for the time being. He's got a player encroaching close. Sure enough, Kerrigan point blank with the Tech 9. It's Cadian and Shush 2v4.
Oh, very awkward. But Cadian finds an interesting kill. It still seems kind of unlikely that you can go for this, and Brokey finds one way in the back. And that is the value of picking up that off early.
Ooh, and Cadian doesn't get out either. Rain's not going to give him the space.
Ooh.
So it doesn't come by way of twists, nor Rops with the Galil, but Brokey finding the better timing and owning Stown top banana.
Yeah, I don't know if they just call for the window flash just because, but they're trying to go through the smoke, and it's right when Stown's trying to set up. He gets into a position, almost hits his shot, and then when they get to the top of the banana, I think the awkward part is that the rotator gets killed first, and then with one player on the site, there's no flashes for him, and that makes it harder for him to fight for himself on quad. So I think FaZe consistently knew they were like winning every single kill.
Nice timing on the spam, but it also takes 50 damage back the other way, so Stown just falls back alongside Tessus.
Rob's the landlord up in the apartments, where he always be. Just raising the rent every month.
Yeah, he would.
He would.
Min-maxing, bro.
Yeah.
Molly over top. That's going to make things uncomfortable for Shush. And Cadian blind as ever, but Shush holds on.
Yeah,
he puts out the fire, and then Cadian up above distracts the T's long enough for him to recover.
Wow. And yeah, 2 kills apiece between him and Yabi. And they shut it down inside of middle. And the smoke is really nice with the little gap. So looks sketchy when Cadian couldn't help him out, but he had a smoke for himself. And they left this open, so they wanted to try to duel in this exact way. But maybe they were wrong that they wanted to.
Now the CT side, giving a bit of runway, little leeway. Rops single Desert Eagle.
Good enough.
For 1.
Ooh, no one gets on this half wall.
Yeah, this actually belongs to us. It's like the pyramids, you know, you're not supposed to climb on them.
It's damn tourists.
Cadian's not going to let that little bit of damage stop him nor Stown. Coming around with the AK, there's an opening. Twists and Brokey grabbing guns.
Getting an op.
Trying to move in fast enough, but yeah, Incendiary from Tessus just takes all the wind out of their sails.
Woof. Yeah, they cut off that rotation to Khan right there. That would have been it. But, you know, this is the value of taking B control this deep, because no matter what, even if they lose it, they lost it so early, there was plenty of time for Tessus to make his way over. So now they're going to try to set up on both sides, make sure Banana is the last place that they can survive in. But Tessus is taking his time here. Or sorry, Yabi here is taking his time. And we'll see. There is, of course, the option to overextend, and looks like he'll definitely not participate in that.
Twists opping. Let's see it.
They believe there's a timing actually up middle because Yabi went around through ult. But now Yabi is flanking on Banana.
Should be able to secure the bag. They fumble the run boost. Yabi getting closer and closer. He's going to be the end all to this one. Sees both, and easy mow down here for Yabi. Nice patience on the flank. Buys time perfectly, and Heroic get by.
Real good timing. So they've already got FaZe down to 2 ecos, even with FaZe on this lead. Quickly thinning it. Lots of aggressive plays down Banana. They've been good and bad.
Solo a setup out of the gate here for Heroic. Lots of emphasis on Banana, and Stown. Ooh, his head just over top, but Twists can't quite pop it. He burns in the fire instead. Had only a couple of chances.
Call that P-meal bacon. You don't know what P-meal bacon is?
No, I don't.
Oh, you've heard of Canadian bacon, right?
I've heard of the lies. What? Well, you know, Canadian bacon. It's just, it's normal, but...
No, it's a different part of the pig.
Oh.
It's back bacon. It's healthier.
So
I've heard of the lies.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I'm
I
referring
haven't
to.
seen it for myself.
Did you do your own research? Little jump spot from Stown. It's not much B control, so Cadian decides to head back over. Shush, love it. Pushes through the apartments. Finds Faze fumbling around. Now they're going to emphasize that arch side instead. 3 players up short. It's them versus Shush, and from the bicycle, he's going to get himself 1 and a lot of damage. Brokey, very low, stuck with that bomb. Kerrigan tries to redirect this, and it's just a shutdown from Heroic. So, just like Big, FaZe get a few rounds at the start of the half, and then Heroic breaking through.
Yeah, and they've got a nice tempo. I mean, they're in a good cycle, I should say, with the buy save situation that keeps happening. And that was a kind of a low money. We saw one Galil come out on FaZe, and they kind of put it to bed, so looking good. But this time everyone has a deagle.
Excellent.
Not just Robs.
If there's any team that I'd like to see with 5 Deags, it's FaZe Clan. Kerrigan at the helm, straight to the meat grinder. 3 CTs set up for the top mid hold. Shush, just an absolute beast so far on this A site. 10 and 4 as he pads the stats versus Deagles.
One kind of weakness is we've seen it as like fast pulse pops, but that's just not something FaZe have done. I just teams don't do that as much in general. But overall, they've been really heavy on mid almost every single time from bracket and from porch. Or sorry, from arch and from porch, or just all of bracket.
Easy does it for Cadian. They're hoping that Heroic makes some kind of hyper-aggressive move, but Heroic just happy to lean back here. Great round for them to even just build this cache.
You know that picture of Cadian bald?
Yes.
That was like Pattian or whatever. Have you ever used Face app to make yourself bald?
Nope. I heard that those apps are bad for you.
Yeah, they download you.
Yep.
You're already out there.
Get some kind of internet disease.
You're literally famous on the internet. It's over for you. You're the first one to...
I wouldn't say famous, but...
All right.
Yeah. But no, I haven't.
I haven't used it on myself either.
I don't want to see what I look like when I'm older. I want it to be a surprise.
Could be tomorrow, you never know.
Not the most inspiring Desert Eagle round out of FaZe.
No.
So they take a pause. Robin doesn't say much. Now that
He's
is
kind of like John Hamm.
That
Just
is like
walks
a,
around and stares pensively at people.
Yeah, that's like a disappointed father frown.
Yeah, exactly. Like it has the impact. You know he's there. You know what he's feeling.
Here we go. FaZe back on the guns, but it's Heroic with the lead. 5 CT rounds looks good on them. They pick up this 10th round, and suddenly they've got themselves on fire. TSS deep nade. Nice amount of damage there. Kerrigan's already down to 70. Pacing's looking quick, though, out of FaZe. How much faster do they need to go? Met by a dog pile of utility, and the bodies aren't far off. It's 4 out of the gate for Heroic on this A side. Nice time flash from Shush.
And they layered those too.
TSS looking for a little bit more, extending out, and Kerrigan, lower HP, but still sharp as ever. Cadian's gonna get that trade back. IGL on IGL action. Yabby's next up, and oh, that's Rops. Just popped inside the boiler room.
That is not an easy guy to kill in his favorite doorway. Very sharp shooting here from Heroic, and it's the double aggressions that are paying off the most, especially versus the bracket control. We're seeing FaZe lose the rounds at this point of the map a number of times already. Oh, it's
performance.
Who gets here first? This smoke is actually very bad for the T since it's so poofy. Yeah.
Yabby, the executioner, slides behind both, and sure enough, him and Shush continuing to tear it up on this CT side. They are the top fraggers for Heroic. Good map so far for Yabby.
It is. Looks clean.
Being that guy who keeps coming in from Arch when you've got Shush just consistently on this A site delivering, and then your closest rotator is also owning.
Yeah, he finds good timing. He's just kind of playing his own way as well. And he uses this smoke to perfection, really. That is well done.
So Faze back into the economic dumps. But early damage. Here it is, a banana test. Roki tagged up to 10 HP, almost dead. Grenade's gonna find him, but Twist's point blank with the Tech 9. Rob's kind of doing his own thing through the apartments. We'll see if he can get some kind of a crack into this A site, maybe. Ooh, Tessa's gonna run the risk. Should be the flash from Yabi, but it's not enough. Twist, having upgraded into the M4, pulls a second player off this B site. Now man advantage Faze.
Ooh, this is not where you want to let them get back their money. Now, of course, Heroic's money is still good, but Faze were intending to buy next round, but they have the half buy going on. Jabby back here on quad, up to the plate. Let's see what you can do.
Tries to get out. There it is. Rop's finding his kill towards A site, but the others have all committed to the B, which could have been costly had Jabby been able to do much, but empty-handed. Multiple players here for Heroic, not getting the kills that they needed to in order to get through these armored pistols.
Yeah, I mean, definitely one of the strongest advantages of FaZe Clan. It's like, again, I'll kind of say this again, but looking at the top 20 list right now, it feels like one of the first times where a team is this dominant and like the best team in the world, but doesn't have a top 5 player technically in terms of the statistics. But they probably have the highest average rating per player in the top 20 of any team between, you know, all the players on your screen. Right? I mean, for a while it was like, okay, Twist broke Rop's core, but that's not even counting the fact that Rain just pulled out a major MVP this year, right?
Right.
So, very strong on these pistol rounds.
Rotating door of S-tier performances. Heroic streak comes to an end. Fade's still playing catch-up. Oh, blind.
That was money.
There goes Twists. He's had too much impact in that last round with the Tech 9 into the M4. Cadian's going to put him on ice for round 12.
Heroic kind of remind me of an ant farm with the way that they rotate. Hear me out. The way that they rotate around. Because, I mean, first of all, they're always working together. But they really just all feel like the same player sometimes with their aggressions.
All right.
Really close together and pushing at the same speed. It's always going as well. Like, when do you ever see an ant stand still? Never.
That's actually a great analogy.
So
that's why they pay you the big bucks. Kerrigan not coming through that smoke just yet. Can't with fire on the other end. No rotate though out of Heroic. Cadian and Jabby still just floating around towards Arch, and
he deserved that, man.
Be a little something. Stound up close gets shredded. Tess from New Box back into the dark corner. He's got him kind of stalling out for a second, and that flashbang, it's supposed to blind them all. Brokey recovers vision, catches the kill, through the smoke goes Jabby, and this time inside B site, he's got it.
That was clutch.
Consistency and utilities from Heroic to shut him down on B.
I'm glad they won it because I got pretty unlucky with a couple of those frags. Nice clip-offs. But good composure from Yabi as well. I mean, they got their unlucky kill here, but yeah, this is the second one that was unfortunate. Yeah, no, it worked for sure. But this kill is nasty. And everything becomes possible with it, in fact. I mean, Cadian back there with the op versus op at quad. I'd rather be the op on site. Solid half here so far from Heroic, despite the slow start.
They're going to get aggressive. Two-man setup in the apartments. Feels like it's been somewhat underplayed from both sides. We've had Shush slide through with a kill on the flank every once in a while, but oh, damn, poor Rops. Rounds the corner straight into the scope of Cadian. Here comes Jabby. But as he goes through that smoke, he's now left Arch open and Kerrigan slides past. Interesting situation here. He's holding for something. Rain point blank gets the kill. It's Jabby's chance in sight to just upend this one. 2 kills. Somehow denying Twists close on boxes. Crossfire set makes things hard for Brokey. Shush back into the kill feed.
Okay.
And a big round from Jabby.
That's the Yabby they hired. That's the one they're looking for. I don't even know how I got that second kill. The swing around default, that's supposed to be him dead right there. Turns it into 3. Lots of clutch moves. This is the best map I've watched with him in the New Jersey so far.
Rain alive for only a millisecond after.
Wow.
That's a great recovery.
Yeah.
Good thing Twists was low at least. Damn, Heroic making a run for that coveted 10-round CT side.
Yes, sir.
Stound's not going to give him a chance to breathe, but as he tries to go over the logs, Kerrigan kicks him out from beneath him. Frag grenade flies by. That's going to tag Twists. Ooh, nicely timed, Kerrigan. Tess still standing in the open, looking for another fight. Oh no, playing with grenades. He's got a rotator nearby in Cadian, but just that P250, the knives are out. Twists got the kill. Make sure they're dead. A little double tap action for Faze's 6th.
Oh, I didn't like the hesitation there from Tess because they just didn't have much to work with, and they got that kill so fast, and they've just been nothing but relentless on Banana. So I'd say Faze have probably been overall a bit better on Banana in this half so far, like the way they've run rounds. But Heroic have been way better everywhere else. That hall setup and the one time it happens, they get the kill no problem. On brackets a number of times with their crossfire, you know, between Yabby, Shush, and Cadian's op presence all over the map, it's all been working out very well. And I think that reflects very accurately in the scoreline here. But Faze pull it back with this one win. And again, showing their strength on Banana, just their ferocity. But, you know, the safest option there for Tassus was to, you know, smoke that from safety and then pick up the smoke, or smoke it right away, but not kind of walk out and smoke and try to grab it at the same time.
Played a dangerous game, and here's his reward. Also awkward was this. Jumping Cadian with a pistol out, getting stabbed in the guts by Brokey, but like you said, best performance you've seen in the New Jersey. 17 and 6 at the moment. Shush not too far behind. 1 round left on the T side of Faze, and they set their sights on top Banana quickly. Kerrigan on the entry, Cadian ready to hold this back. Nade's not going to be a bother. Stound's actually pressed close along the wall as well, so Cadian's going to take a shot, tuck in. Ooh, actually decides to try and press through smoke, and Kerrigan keeps it crisp. 3 other players here, though. Putting those smokes down, ensuring Faze don't come through just yet. But they're leaving.
Ooh, yeah, they're leaving. They're doing it kind of noisily. And, I mean, look at this. Faze just run through. They've been loving just getting Banana as fast as possible. I don't know why this is a surprise for Heroic.
Look at Tessus. Talking about surprises. So close to the bomb plant, nearly denies it. Rops comes through with 2 kills top mid. Nice lurk. Tessus taking Twist's knees out. It's a man advantage for Faze in a post plant to try and close this T side. Pistol, not quite enough. But there's the mow down from Tessus. Regains vision, confirms that Brokey's pinned in this corner. And now that CT smoke blocks off all that's left from Faze. They're both going to try to spam through. Tessus looking for the stick. A second, and he's got it.
Ooh.
Down to the wire as the bullets fly by, and Faze just can't keep up.
I don't want people to think that was me.
I was kind of trying to anticipate your answer.
Going along with the theme of 10 years of Counter-Strike, we're doing the highlights and the lowlights of Cadian's Counter-Strike career.
Some tough losses back there.
Let's start with the lowlights. What do you think is the lowlight of Cadian's career? I put... You're doing it wrong already. Just turn it around.
I'm just going to turn it around. I put being exiled from Danish Counter-Strike, and having to move to America for a while.
Yep.
Obviously, in the end, probably turned out to be a good thing, but I'm imagining at the time that didn't feel great. So that I put as the low light.
Okay.
I mean, mine is kicked from north.
Okay.
I mean, I think yours is really good, Anderson, potentially also could be the right one. Okay, we also talked about it in the podcast I had with Jason, where like it was definitely a long path coming back from that tough beginning. And I mean, that was the main reason I went to the US, was because that I didn't have the options in Danish Counter-Strike that I felt like I deserved.
But now that you mentioned that, I realized something else. You did a stand-in. I remember the map. It was on Inferno with Dupree and Device and all those people. I remember you even played good on that game, but I remember there was this weird feeling in Danish Counter-Strike. It was kind of like, yeah, he's like pretty good, but he just doesn't have like the right mentality or something like that. There was some feeling of being told that by Dupree and Device and whoever else. Is like that's a really harsh sentence.
Well, let's go from the negative to the positive. I actually, I thought I was gonna put both on one page, so I've really restricted myself to the top half. My highlight of Cadian's career, I put making the semifinals of the Stockholm Major with Heroic. Yeah. I figured, that after everything you'd been through, and then having that team and all the doubts and the controversy and everything on that team and all the eyeballs on you guys going to that event, making the semifinals had to have felt like king of the castle type situation.
I mean, I was kind of trying to anticipate your answer.
Okay, I thought about going for that one too, but
That
I was
was
like,
the obvious one. Yeah.
Triple. Just broke. Step there.
But with the smoke, guys.
Triple and runes.
Yep. Smoking the runes.
That bump.
Up.
He's holding you. He's smoke.
Standing fountain.
He's stuck in the ruins still. Robin has him. I have CT now. Careful banana.
Take banana.
CT boat. Last ruins. I'll peek him, Hobby.
Can I get away? Can't go back.
Nice flash. Tell me. I jumped. He's jumping on the wall.
Yeah. This was good timing.
I'll drop you, Russ. Or I missed both.
Man, Brokey with more comms in that one clip than all the words he's ever said in interviews.
Our whole interview, he didn't speak as much as that.
Faze keeping it crisp, a little frantic, but obviously they want this damn win. You can't just let Heroic lead by 3. But that is the situation we find ourselves in as the Danes take to the T side, looking to top Group C. Here at the Blast Fall Groups,
The power of Faze, they still have favored odds.
regardless of a 3-round deficit.
Yeah.
We get a clumping of Heroics players outside of the B site. Majority of Faze in position here with Rain and Twist as the pillars back site. Kerrigan sits on top of them, trying to keep this bomb site closed. Flash into the middle of the site. That's going to allow for Twist to keep vision forward. He pops Jabby first. Second kill is Tesses. And now Brokey takes the boost. So an added variable. Very nice Twist.
Wow.
4 kills from the back of the site. Ice cold hold.
Most North Americans are great from this spot. Iconic moments.
That's all we got.
Yes.
How long does Twist have to play in a European team before we can no longer lay claim to him?
A couple of lifetimes.
Couple lifetimes, kid. Always one of us. Nicely done. Clean headshots to kick it off, and then that 4th one. Exactly. Earl gonna come back, try and bounce in quickly with the force. They don't want to see that lead slip, but nature of the beast. Little underhanded flash from Stown, tries to run that Tech 9 up. Rain, SMG out.
I think we'll see better CT side on Banana specifically. So we, looking back on what we just saw, better ways of dealing with rushes and pop through smokes like we just watched from Heroic trying to do that. But being a little bit more patient about actually taking logs control and throwing that in only sometimes. They got a God Flash, they got 2 more smokes, and they tried to bait out some utility, but they've already attracted the talent of a third Faze member who started to peel back. It doesn't have a flash for them as well. It's a good flash.
Oh my god, Rain's so blind. And he loses Kerrigan before he really regains vision. Brokey looking for the boosts. Oh, they cut down Rain from underneath.
Wow.
Damn, Heroic. They just burst past Kerrigan. It looked like Rain wanted to fight that, but just blind.
Yep.
Stuck in smoke.
That's why the God Flash is really important. So they locked that down with the 2 extra smokes. They had resources, actually, to make a second exec happen. So things don't go well at first, but they make the most of it. That is a huge round to win. First to touch 10.
And that first little moment where Brokey looked like he was coming to add himself as the third piece of the B-hold.
He didn't even have a flash, though.
Kind of like stutter steps it.
He's kind of like not useful without utility, I think, in that spot. He only had a decoy, if I'm reading it correctly.
What'd you call him?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't even know. It wouldn't. There's no. I was gonna bring the heat and name some other player who. I'm not gonna do that.
Almost got baited.
I'm better than that.
Look at this one, just finishing off what Cadian started. Little pocket AKs rushing into the B site. Excellent way for Heroic to maintain that 3-round lead. Have an economy advantage too. Potential turning point early in this T side. Got Twist's head stacked on top of Rain, and they're starting to seize a bit of control here on Banana. Nice spot, Rops.
His little treehouse again.
No girls allowed. Shuts down the boilerplate. And that's going to stun Heroic for a second. It's been quite some time since they had any eyes on Banana, so now that it's no longer smoke deep, Stown starts to carve out some control.
Sometimes these CTs are settling for just playing up here. Now, MP9 in front. I mean, it's a good spot for it. And Twist in the back insurance policy. But first player gets cleared out and it's down. Oh, takes Twist out as well.
Double. Brokey trying to get over. And Stown hugs the wall up until tree.
Oh, and he heard him use every single bullet. Falling back on the save. Stown is literally hunting them down now.
Oh my god. This guy's bloodlust. Unquenchable. Of course, that's going to keep Jabby on high alert. So they're going to go ahead and try to deny this save from Faze, which would be fantastic. We know how much they came in, invested, everything on the line here for Faze, and they are surrounded inside this A site. Big moment here from Kerrigan. Yeah, that'll alleviate a bit of pressure. You can see the other guys start to walk back a bit. That's what's going to allow for the save. Critical moment there for Kerrigan to just take off the pressure.
Sure. Yeah, they'll definitely collapse on the site if not for it, so... Well,
new bomb radius.
It's huge.
He just died in library.
Yeah, he died in library?
Yeah, from a B.
No way. Yeah, I've heard it's completely changed the map, like, for the people scrimming and stuff, just figuring out where you can die from, and just like how far you have to go and how early you leave and stuff like that. It was the funniest update to come through because, like,
so random.
Literally, no one asked for it.
No, I think it's
it's made the map more interesting.
I think it's a sign of things to come.
As in bigger,
it's the trial run, so more maps might have bigger radius.
I think it was specifically a good thing for Inferno because the post plants are so strong.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that's great. I mean, that is insane.
Took a straight piece of shrapnel to the side of the head.
You have to be on Mirage to avoid that bomb. I can't believe they made the circle that big.
I think a bigger one on Nuke would make it interesting, just so you couldn't save like above bomb sites or.
Yeah, it's true. There's other maps
that
where they're not big enough.
Yep.
Yeah, but I think for Inferno, when at first it's like, who asked for this? But you look at it and you're like, this helps make the map a bit better for sure. That's some good HE damage here on Stown.
Hefty. That damage could come through crucially as Twists and Rain are only on the USPs, so Those who didn't survive the last round left with bare bones. Oh, nice kill from Brokey. Very quick from the corner, but obviously can't get away because Cadian's locked in on it. Now that exposes the issue that is Rain on the USP. Smoke will give him a chance to grab the gun, though.
Huh. I wonder what happens from this position. I mean, we still got 3 on A and 2 of the guns. Kerrigan's alone on the other side, but we're getting to a point in the round where it might be hard to go back. They still could, though. They still could.
If they do.
Wow, they're grouping halls. Interesting. This should not work, actually. This should be really good for Faze with this setup. But there is one USP on duty by this door.
Point blank. Twist tries to run in to grab that gun, but more bodies there in position. They try to redirect. Could they catch Kerrigan in mid? There is still time. Kerrigan's going to have to deliver with the Galil. Shush comes around the corner. Easy pickup. Shush is next. Oh, look at this. Cadian, he'll get the trade frag, but now 20 seconds scrambling for that bomb site. It's him versus Rain. An unarmored 5 and 14 Rain, but caught in the open because time is what makes the difference. Plays Cadian's hand right into Faze's favor.
Yeah, we've seen a few important times in history where someone has pushed the flank a little too soon and then someone's run back. But in this spot, Kerrigan's got the good off angle. They're the ones who feel time pressed and worried, and he's got an advantage, at least for the first kill, and the second one, he probably needed it, so well done from Kerrigan. And I mean, the biggest shout out to Kerrigan for just bringing up his individual form to such a high and consistent level. I think for himself, it's not like overall compared to all pros, but it's definitely enough so that his team can be number one. They don't have to worry about him. He's fragging better than we can remember many other points in his career.
Yep.
It's made a world of difference.
Hell of a time to do it, right? With the best roster he's ever had around him.
Well, I think that's why it is the best roster, you know, because he takes a lot of opening engagements. He does. Every player is important these days. That's the thing. So it's for him, it's almost never been a question of his teammates. He's always had really good teammates, actually. He's probably the IGL who's played with the most elite players of all time. He's had that. You know, it's kind of fortunate to have had that chance to do it. But I think what we've realized in this past year was it was really never about how many good players you could surround with him if he himself couldn't have some baseline level of performance.
Now he's out here out-fragging Rops and Rain. Major MVP Rain. Stown tasked with finding the biggest impact out of the gate, but AK exchanges hands, and now it's TessS's job.
That's crazy. 16 health? 60 health, I would have held on to that still. I'm like, nah, I'm not there.
I'm good, bro. I got this. We'll see what else Stown can offer. Now relegated to the Tech 9. They get top banana control at least. And they silently walk it back. So we're gonna try that A hit again, and Twist just got pulled off of this.
Brookie will rotate to within smokes, and Twist can pick up. And I think it's understood. It's a handshake here from Rock. They can't really throw any kind of crazy fake. So they'll try to do something funny here.
CT spawn under question.
Yeah.
Ooh, drive-by from Stown. Who needs the AK? Kerrigan.
Nice shot.
Chopping off his head, and then Brokey not able to deliver from inside sight, so Rob suddenly more pressure put on him, but he stops that bomb at the 7-second mark, and TessS just not going to be able to find much. He'll catch Rops on the headshot peak, but as time expires, TessS needing to make sure he stays alive. No one's going to be able to clear him out. A chance to go sprinting at that A site, but Faze survived the test.
Yeah, nice effort. Maybe a bit ambitious to throw the CT wrap smoke and need to hit A with the amount of time left over, but with the pistols, even just getting kills is kind of nice. But yeah, now we're getting into the deep end here. The 9-11 scoreline. Faze with the last 2, and another mixed buy for Heroic that they get to chew through.
Sir, last 10 rounds of the map. BO1 only for the top seed of Group C. Jabby's down beneath Rops. Haven't seen, too much hyper aggressions from Rops on these lurks. But he hears the utility usage, so...
I mean, Rops speaks like he's going to die in real life if he messes it up.
Oh, you didn't see that. Should still know what's up. Oh my god, gets dinked for 95.
Youch. But now they're like, okay, well, we got a pit player low.
Let's go get this guy. Tech 9 to the teeth, twists, gets aggressive. Drive by from Shush, who has an AK but was using the Tech 9.
Respect.
Okay.
Can't run and shoot with one of those guns.
Fair point. Now what's left of Heroic, this 3-man grouping.
And let's see, Brokey. No utility, but he is fully healthy. He comes in to support at range.
Wow.
Well,
a lot of pressure here on Rain.
Yeah.
Not his best game ever, but a good moment to add some to the kill feed. Now we're talking Rops on 5, Rain on 10. Flash doesn't get him the better of Shush, who has found 3 kills this round alone. And we saw Shush with a multi-kill versus Big on Nuke with a headshot to the back of Kerrigan. I mean, he thought he was going to get away with that spam. Stown is standing right in front of him.
I feel like using all your ammo in that situation is it's definitely a good way to elicit a push. Of course, low numbers, so he didn't think they would go for it, but they did, and Heroic will pick up another one. Yeah, they'll break through in an unlikely situation. Faze were not even done catching up here.
Oof, and Stown survives it.
Wow.
That's an X-Factor round out of Heroic.
It is.
And again, it comes from Shush.
It is. There's been a number of half and low buys from both teams now that have been converted. So full credit to the individual level of Heroic. I was talking about phases, but they can keep up. Just fired that. It's well done.
Feels like Kerrigan could have felt that one coming.
Yeah, he was like, yeah. Yeah.
All right. No. My bad.
A third timeout called, and you're just trying to get your wits about you when the rounds you're supposed to before you start, playing upside down 40 chess. But at this point, it's every round is scary. Every round is interesting. We'll see if that's actually applies to the CT side of FaZe Clan here. They have an MP7, an MP9, and a Deagle to pair with 2 M4s.
Heroic being shown the door to victory here. Just a matter of getting through it. It's down quickly dispatching of Kerrigan, so one of the M4s out instantly.
Yeah.
Poor Rain whittled down to 52 HP, so a little creeping crawl here from Heroic, and they're going to play it on Arch side. They're going to meet Brokey's Deagle. Doesn't quite hit the mark. Smoke's down as well, so they're looking to envelop this A-site. Twists. He gets spammed through on that library smoke. He at least offers a smoke grenade into the bomb site for his teammates to work with, and Rain, sure enough, finding Shush through smoke. Keeps it 4v4. Health advantage Heroic, gun advantage Heroic. Minute 6, Yabby point blank. Oh, Rops, he does damage, but Yabby comes out alive. Twist's gonna be blindsided by Tesses tucked in Moto. Brokey found out in backside, so step by step, Heroic just gathering all the kills they need for an easy 13th round.
That was quite a nice search. Everything went well. You could see everybody alive. Got a kill here for Heroic. So, as they say, ain't no sitting at the table if you're bringing nothing to it.
That seems fair.
Yeah. I was wondering if the correct play was to bring the... I mean, it's easy, for me, Captain Hindsight, to say don't run the M4 down mid when you've got, a couple of SMGs in a round that you're kind of trying to win.
Yeah.
But I guess the logic is better odds to win your fights and a guy who's going to take the first ones. But it's an M4 that you don't get back. So that is something. Kerrigan goes out first, dies. No one can recover that M4, and they've got worse guns on site to deal with. With actually some decent spots when the attack comes in, so maybe if there were some better guns there, they could have won. But you got to take some kind of crazy risk when it's a mixed buy. It's a kind of a calm heroic in a winning position, which is not something you see every day.
No longer just a winning position. A very comfortable lead right now. Plus just USPs in this one. 14-9. That's an excellent spot that Heroic are going to find themselves in. On a map where we didn't really know if they'd be able to bring the heat. But that Jabby and Shush CT side certainly helped. A site locked down. And now this T side's been excellent. But apparently USPs are enough. And then Rain couples this with an M4 kill out of alt mid. He's going to go for that boiler peak. Drops another.
And some damage. And the T's have an incentive to stay here with the guns, but the CTs also kind of want to be close to it. There's an alt push coming in. I mean, this is going to be hard to figure out if you're Heroic. They've got quite a puzzle on their hands.
We did just say that Cadian's a good caller. No doubt about that one. How do you get yourself out of this 2v4? Feeling surrounded. It's going to clear right. Love the position from Brokey. Scares the hell out of Cadian and kills Shush. 2 USP frags coming out of Faze. We just tried to paint this picture that Heroic had an open door for 14. And then Faze sprinkle in a little X factor. And if Cadian had 100 health, I'd say maybe.
Yeah, the dink, it really stings now.
Damn, Brokey getting dirty outside that library.
You know, his next closest teammate is miles away, so if Cadian susses this out, there's a chance for the plant, and we can go from there, but it doesn't seem like it's on his mind that someone could be in pool. Oh, there it is, he grabs it.
Nice shot.
And Bomb Pack can come in. There's no op here. He does have a Molotov.
Yep.
You know what? This isn't impossible. It's 16 health. If he wins it, it'd be massive. Let's see if he can do it.
Cadian, that brain is just pulsing. He's pieced together as much as he can. This angle is going to give him a good chance at just taking Rops' head clean off, but he needs both kills, and he can't take a single bullet back. And that first shot from Twist, right between the eyes.
Yeah.
Big pickup from Faze.
Yeah. Okay. Nicely done from Twist. Gave no shot. Clean kills and some good ideas. And some good use of the map, you know, everyone working alone, no utility, using, in fact, Heroic's utility against them. And even Brokey holding the sweatiest off angle in CT spawn to get that amount of damage and the kill. And he goes to type in chat, take a shower, kid.
He knows how nasty that one was. All right, then. Game on. Felt like Faze were going down with a whimper. USPs bring the bang. Heroic hoping to buck back with the 2 MAC-10s and a quick apartments control. We saw them go for that one round where they clumped 3 players in here, but right now it's just the 2. TSS escorts Jabby, and then they decide to set their sights towards Banana. Rain gets just nailed by that frag. Maybe the aggressive positioning's not what they want right now.
Seen Heroic use a very similar setup, but this time no high position, which is really important in case they smoke lane, because if they do smoke lane, there's no way you can even cover Arch right now, right? And they can't actually see, I think, aside from Twist off the corner of the porch. Maybe he does have a little bit of space, like Shush did in the first half. But right now, the rotations are extremely slow for Faze, no matter how early they do it. So a lot of this comes down to the old guard here, Kerrigan and Rain.
MAC-10 so ready to gun them down. Twist's gonna get aggressive. That just feeds a frag to Jabby. And they're not gonna peel back from that B site. Hits coming through. Easy does it. TSS MAC-10 killing off what was left of Rain. Poor Kerrigan doesn't offer us much. And now suddenly it seems like Heroic's winning ways continue.
Faze looked very stiff. Looked very stiff there. I mean, they committed extremely hard early in the round to a setup that had an enormous hole and had very slow rotations and never moved from them, and then played 2 very standard spots on the B site. No flash support, no information, in fact. That was not very like Faze, I feel like, from the rest of this game, if we want to compare it. So I'm not surprised Heroic went off of that. They just chilled on Banana. They let Yabi sit in mid, and because of Faze's nervousness, they ran down mid a little bit early to try to flank Banana. And that was an easy frag for Yabby, so well done from him. Just being patient, but not surprised that Heroic picked that up.
How easy this one was. He said no place for information. That's the closest thing to it. Oh, Kerrigan inside the smoke.
Yeah, not a good look here to defend against match point. No, one more try to do that, I should say, before I get ahead of myself. Kerrigan on the MP9. And Brokey up on the op.
Brokey posted. Cadian sending the warning shot downtown.
Whoa.
Rops gets
wait, from the back of alt.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Alt mid wallbang into the apartments to catch Rops. That's a big opening. One of his best maps yet for Heroic. He's definitely cooled off and let his teammates catch up, but look at the kill differential for Heroic. I mean, from 16 to 20.
Yeah.
And we know how, leaps and bounds Jabby was ahead of his teammates. This is all of Heroic coming together to take down one of the world's best. On a map where, again, you kind of thought odds sway Faze, but now Kerrigan. Tough spot.
This is interesting. Okay, in this position, you can pull the pin on both positions. But we can have Twist get his kill and fall off, and Kerrigan push forward and take over lane control if things go right. Their eyes and their minds are on Arch, because if this gets cracked open, that's where they'll have to react by getting back some different space and moving into new spots. And it might actually be a play that works, even if it's pretty risky.
There it is, pressure on Kerrigan, but he's not going to see anybody. It's TessS alone in the apartments. Twist's good off angle for the Arch wrap. There'll be a question around when does TessS come out to help, and oh my god, Twisty gets nothing. Shush just tears through both. Couple of clean headshots, the bomb's planted on A, and that is Heroic. 15 rounds secured, 5 match points to top this group.
They were happy. Yabby got the kill on Rops at the beginning of the round.
That was it.
That's it. They made up their mind at that point. They immediately started organizing towards the A site. After this,
clean.
at a minute 37, I mean, every single bullet.
Yep.
Smell from Rops. He's done that to a couple of people in the past, And so it comes down to this hold, and they just needed everything here. But Kerrigan's blind off this play. I thought Kerrigan was going to push towards lane and twist drop mini, potentially giving them a chance. But either way, no one got anything. So that's match point well earned. Second big map in a row from Yabby.
Shush as well. Mr. Consistency today.
Vi laver den der kickert-start. Kan I huske den? Ja.
5 rounds straight to force overtime from Faze.
Wow, utility damage. Amazing from Heroic. Still into Faze's CT side, of course, so they have distinct advantage there. They've already played 15 rounds for themselves. But this could be the last one. Kerrigan's booty looking down the barrel of an MP9 once again.
Ooh, tries to run it around. Okay, this, shall we put the bow on top?
Haven't seen Heroic drop a position like this in some time, but it's still possible.
Damn. A 3-round lead at the end of the half for Heroic. They maintained it. Every time Faze got closer and closer, Heroic with the rebounds. Couple of B-site falters for Faze. Even despite that wild round where we get to see Brokey and Twists pick up USP kills, it is still not enough. Not enough to inject the energy nor success into the veins of Faze.
And a great day for Stown as well. And a great day for Heroic.
Yeah. Very true. Starting the season well.
Maybe we could call this a real Yabby debut. Not Cologne. It was too soon.
Sure, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Needed the summer off. Like you said, probably played all summer.
Yeah.
Made sure to sharpen his sword, and we've seen it. Just deleting Rops through the apartments last round, keeping him occupied here in round 26. The final round of this map of Inferno by the looks of things. A 2v5 retake, far too much to ask. Op gets up close. Wait on. Oh, hold on. Brokey catches 2 off guard. There's one more player close. His teammate's trying to come sprinting over because Brokey scares them all, but then he gets deleted. And so Cadian and Co have topped Group C. Heroic with an excellent day. They lost to Faze in their first showing, come back on Inferno, and pick up that victory.
That's well done. They got a new performance coach. They got a new player, a new young talent out of Denmark. And everything's going swimmingly. And they take down the best team in the world, kick off the season. And don't be fooled. Faze were playing well earlier today, so this is an enormous win.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we had a match close between Big and Heroic that would have put Heroic in a weird place where they could have been sent down to the showdown. Spring finals could have been in question, but with these last 2 wins of the day, they find themselves as the top seed of Group C, a single best of 3 victory with potentially 2 chances to lock in a stage here in Copenhagen. Big day for Heroic, strong start for Yabby. Nice to see that improvement from Cologne here to fall groups. With that, we send it down to James Banks on the floor. Final interview of the day. Let's see what Heroic have to say.
A different map, but certainly revenge that he's very happy with here. A very good performance there on Inferno. And I want to start by looking at your Inferno in the sense that the last few months, the only teams you beat were Finest and MIVR. Not exactly top tier teams, so you've been working on this?
I think if you look before that with Refresh, it was one of our best maps. Then we had Cologne, where we at least lost it to Mouse, and they completely crushed us. But it's a map we've always had big comfort in, and we've won important games on it before, in finals and stuff like this. So for me, we had the decision before the game to, was it going to be like, are we going to leave Mirage and Inferno open? And the original plan was Mirage, but my gut feeling said, let's go with Inferno. And it panned out really well. You know, kudos to my boys. One of the things from Cologne as well is that I didn't find my individual groove so much. And that wasn't only in terms of like individual skill, but also the calling. And here the calling felt so natural, and at the end of the day, that's the most important thing for the team, that I'm feeling comfortable, that the boys can trust me, and that I have the gut feeling, and they executed it so well, you know. Jabby, finally he gets that kind of breakthrough that he's been looking for, so yeah, good job, man.
And another thing there, right, you said about belief. If you don't believe in yourself, right, it's going to affect the rest of the team that has to come off into it. But I'm also going to say on the fact that, did you expect them to go for Nuke, you know, when they had the pick between Nuke and Inferno? Was that your initial thought that they might go back for that?
I think it's always kind of difficult to play the same map against a team that you already played, especially on the same day. So it's always tricky, the same against Big for us, you know, when you just played it a few hours earlier, all the small adjustments and stuff like this. Did you look at their Inferno stats? You know, they are pretty crisp. So I think they felt comfortable having Inferno, but it was a sneaky plan from us.
It definitely was. Now also, just looking at Jabby, right, and the difference you're seeing here, obviously, like you mentioned, it's big and very important for him. But how do you feel overall in him settling in this first big event you've come to here this time around, and you've topped the group?
It feels good, you know. Jabby is a good guy. I think maybe outside the game he can be a little bit quiet. In the game he talks a bit more, and that's nice. But he's a good guy, and he has the heart at the right place. And one of the key components that we've been looking at from day one when I took over the in-game leader role in this organization was to build a team where everyone wants to do good for each other, and that friendship is important. Having the moral compass is important, and we just all trust each other. We all want to, you know, jump across each other, give a hero AK for the right guy at the right moment and stuff like this. So, yeah, he's doing good. He's doing good. He's sitting there tweeting, you know. Go find him on Twitter, boys.
And also got to say this quickly, is the first map win over Faze this year. First of many?
I'm not going to sit here and fire Kerrigan and the boys up, you know, so I think this was the only one this year.
He's playing it safe. I can understand that. Let's go over to everyone else out there and close out the rest of the day.
Well, the Danes, they turn out to be the heroes of Group C. They joined the likes of Na'Vi and Astralis as their kings of their respective clans and taking the top seed. As we head into the Gauntlet next week, I am pretty surprised that they were actually able to take down Faze in that fashion. Very consistent firepower across the board.
Yeah, a very great Yabby Dabby Doo.
That's it. You can leave now.
Can I leave now?
Actually,
It's okay. Have I done
it.
enough?
Yeah, you're out. You're off the show.
And this is why I'm getting paid. But that kind of joke. See?
That was the best you had?
We have better ones in the green room, actually. I was expecting more out of you. Jacob, are you happy with what Yabi showed? I guess that's what we're talking about.
I'm very happy with everything apart from the joke right here, to be completely honest. Heroic were the better team here in Inferno, no doubt about it. It felt like every single round on their T side, they made it close. There was a couple of rounds, with Tech 9s, with Mac 10s, with limited utility, limited weaponry. They still forced FaZe to either save, to lose the round, or to really fight for it every single time. Even though FaZe got off to a good start, I felt that Heroic were by far the better team here in Inferno. It wasn't even a competition in the second half. That speaks volume to the performance that Heroic put up on the server.
No, I agree. I think the second half told the whole story, and it's a story that we're not used to see. To see FaZe being forced into this position of passiveness on Inferno and not finding the information or being punished when they try to find the information. I have this round in mind where Yabi, the man we have on our screen right here, is just waiting top mid, forces Twist to go for information. He gets caught out, and then the B executes happen. FaZe were really stuck in their ways, stuck in their positions. They were too passive for the occurrence, too passive for the occasion, and Heroic win a very, very deserved Inferno.
Yeah, give them an inch and they'll take a mile in classic Heroic fashion. I just want to go back to what you were saying at the beginning of the game, and I guess the beginning of the big game that we saw as well. The fact that most of the time their opponents did have the upper hand in terms of the rounds, the number that they were putting on the board. The fact that Heroic can bounce back in this situation, very impressive from them to have that fortitude.
I'm sure all the stat nerds out there could look into it, but I think Heroic is without a doubt the team who's won the most full buy rounds against other teams in this tournament so far. Their pistol rounds haven't been looking too good. We saw it in this game as well. In the second half, they lose the pistol, instantly fight back, instantly come in with a nice execute towards the B bomb side, win the secondary round, and from that point onwards, they took control over the game. I agree with you, Freya. Despite having slow starts, despite struggling a little bit in the beginning of the games, they still find a way to fight back, and they still look like the better team on the server. It was very, very impressive. And then, as we spoke about it, Yabi finally having this breakthrough within Heroic. He was playing well in the play-in at Cologne, struggled a little bit more during the Cologne group stages, but this time around in this game, he cemented himself, and we saw glimpses of what we can expect from him in the future as well.
And it's just the beginning of the path
for
Yabi and his Heroic adventure. That's what this is. Cologne was obviously a bit complicated, not as smooth as we would have hoped for, but now, and I think this is also why we're seeing such reaction and emotions out of Heroic. They're not only looking for a good seed in the gauntlet, they're looking for proof of concept of the lineup they have and the team they have formed. And obviously they didn't find that I guess, confidence you could talk about in Cologne, but here, taking a map off of FaZe, being first in their group, that confirms them in the idea that this can work, and these kind of successes early on in the season can make a difference.
Heroic is currently number 14 on the world ranking. That's something Katie even highlighted going into this game against FaZe. We're number 14. We're playing against the best team in the world. We got nothing to lose, but let's win and take over that number 1 spot. So you're right, Matthew. It is very, very important for Heroic to fight their way back into it. Obviously, they're down on the ranking, given to the roster change, given to the bad performance at Cologne, but they're not playing like they're a top 14 team right now. We know Heroic to be a top 5 team, and that's also why they made the roster changes, out with Refresh, in with Yabi, because they want to win trophies. And this win right here is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I want to take a look at this gauntlet as well, because now we do have all the places cemented as we do conclude our final group of this group stage here at BLASTPremier. I just want to ask you guys, who do you think has the toughest route throughout this gauntlet? Because the teams that we see on the left are just going to be continuing through the brackets that we do see on our screen.
Yeah, so basically what's going to happen is 2 teams per line will make it to the fall final.
Yes.
Right? So the question is, who has it worse? It's kind of hard to say. I guess that the G2 Big Vitality Na'Vi is not exactly an easy one either, because G2 haven't really given us any insurances. We're not sure what we're going to get from them. Big have surprised a little bit. Vitality is still in their debut, their infancy when this Sphinx lineup, and obviously Simple's going to come back to put everyone at ease. So that one is going to be a tough one as well.
Yeah, obviously we see Faze with that second place result in Group C. They'll be going into the semi-finals of that first bracket that we see on our screens. I was expecting Faze to be placing first in this group. Would you say it's a disappointment, or do you think, it's just for seeding, there's no elimination? Are you putting anything in terms of stock in terms of this game?
Yeah, they're gonna make it anyway. Especially bracket A, let's call it that one. It's not too big of a competition for FaZe. It shouldn't be. Astralis is struggling a little bit. Yesterday they lost to a random mixed team. They're having a tough time qualifying for the RMR even. So if you're FaZe right now, you're still very, very confident that you're gonna make it to the next stages. So yeah, I much rather want to focus on Heroic and say that was a good start. They came in, as we spoke about, super, super motivated to rinse away the disappointment that was IM Cologne and really get off to a good start here.
One of the themes we had across the beginning of 2022 for FaZe was managing your performance and when to peak. Yeah. And let's be real, here right now was not the place to bring your 200% Counter-Strike. Yeah. They've already secured a second spot in that gauntlet. They have all the favors of the public and the audience to make it through the Royal Arena. And if they do, then that is going to be the moment to play their game or their A game. They've done it through the beginning of 2022. I see no reason why this would be any different now.
Well, before we do round out the week and the best of ones here at the full groups, let's get a few words from Karrigan.
Carrion, you suffered a loss at the very end here to take second place in the group overall, but you had a good day up until that point, right? How do you view this game, and what are you looking at in terms of how Heroic performed versus how you guys came into this one?
Yeah, I think we played great so far until I think the last game. I think we had some communication issues, couldn't really close the rounds, and it was a strange game from our side. It felt like we won more ecos and force buys than weapon rounds, and that not really happened to us before. So maybe it's the start of the season, and we have to get back and forth. And I think it's good we get a loss here to reevaluate how we can play better. But yeah, overall, a pretty decent day. Second or first in group is just seeding and playing. You have to still win 2 best of 3s. So yeah, we'll do our best to do that. But all, I'm happy about today, but obviously not so happy about the ending.
Yeah, and looking at your Inferno, right, I thought when it comes down to your T-size, normally that's why I see a lot of this good success from you guys. Was it just a different error in how they were playing, a change-up from what you noticed compared to on their CT side, what they normally do?
I don't think really. I just think there was some of the situation we tried to execute. We were like 5 seconds off page, and the split is not how it's supposed to be, or we weren't reacting to the information we had when we knew that's 2B and 2A. We should just like go for the trades. That's normally what we do. If it's because people have been waiting and tired, or we just a little off, I have no idea. But obviously it happens now and then that we are not on the same page and not reacting and playing the way we're supposed to. But yeah, overall it's fine. It's not like the world end.
It definitely isn't, right? Like you said, you've got the best of 3s now going forward onto the rest of it. Now, how will you spend your days? Will you take a day off in between this now and wait for your other games, or are you going to go straight back to full practice? How's it working for Faze?
I think tomorrow we're going to review the games for today, the wins and the losses, and try to improve that on practice. So we do half-day practice tomorrow, full day Tuesday, and Wednesday I have some media, and we go there to take a day off to either my parents' place on Wednesday, back at it at first day to practice, and then Friday we play, I guess. I don't know really when we play. I guess it's Friday.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm trying to do it in my head now while you're saying that at the same time. But overall, with the best of ones and coming into it and how volatile best of ones can be, would you say you're satisfied with what you saw today?
Yeah, I mean, it's no shame to lose to Heroic. I mean, it's best of 1. Everything can happen. Everybody said that for 5 years, right? And we have seen that in other groups as well. But all, I'm happy. Obviously, being first in group is always a better feeling. But at this point, I'm not worried. It's still start of the season, and now we have a few days to grind the mistakes. And we came here to finish off qualifying for the 4 finals. If we are top 3 or top 6, it doesn't really matter. We just come here and get the job done. And yeah, we put in a situation now. We have to at least win 1 best of 3 and not lose 2 in a row. If that happens, I'm obviously very unhappy.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to get to that stage yet. But do you think it means a lot to them in order to get that win over you guys like this as well? And do you think that's going to, next time you meet, come into the factor?
Not really. I think it's still a group stage match. It is basically playing for seeding. It's not like they're moving into a semi-final or something like that. But if they are really happy about it, so let them be. I mean, they're a new team, right? It's probably their biggest win so far. But yeah, taking into consideration it's best of 1. It was 1-1 in maps today against them. So yeah. In the end, maybe we meet them in the best of 3. Even though I don't think it's possible. But yeah, doesn't really matter.
We'll see how it goes when it gets to it. Thank you very much, Carrigan.
See ya.
Certainly no rest for the Wicked as it's full practice and preparation heading into those best of 3s next week. But yeah, I just want to echo the sentiments of Carrigan there. I don't think I'm particularly worried for Faze going through in that second place position.
You shouldn't be. As he said, it's basically playing for seeding. They're slowly but surely going to edge into the season. And I bite my note in the fact that he said they were going to the father of Carrigan to eat on Thursday. That is kind of like a speciality for his teams as well. And I've been there once. His father is one hell of a cook, so I'm pretty sure that the Faze players are coming in full, first and foremost, on Friday, but also ready to play.
Did you receive your invite for this time around? Did they invite you?
God.
Oh, well, maybe we can ask for a little invitation to that very special meal. But before we do that, I do want to hear from somebody else who's making their debut. It's Heroic's performance coach with a few words after that game.
I've got Lasse with me here. I'm going to introduce you guys to. He is the new performance coach here at Heroic. And to start off with, right, you have a hugely successful career. I was telling Katie, and I was looking down all your achievements, world champion, European champion. You know what it takes to be a champion, right? But how do you look at the difference between what you had in handball to what you have now here in Counter-Strike? And how different is it for you?
Well, I mean, it's a different sport, but the things you have to be good at is pretty much the same, especially mentally. So I think we have a great group of guys who are very, very confident. So my work gets easier there. But I mean, they are also a group that needs support, and I'm going to deliver that.
When you first got asked about this role and to do this job, how much did you know about Counter-Strike? Were you aware of it? Had you followed it at all? Played it?
Not played it that much, okay. But we watched it in. I played in Germany, handball in Germany, and we had some very long bus rides. So we watched Counter-Strike now and then. So I was a little bit into it, but I mean the last couple of weeks has been very intense for me. So I've learned a lot, and I think I will strive to get even better. Mm-hmm. Maybe not playing, but at least understanding.
Yeah. And in terms of that understanding, right, what have you been able to take away from this event? What have you been able to look at and say, okay, this is what the guys are maybe missing, for example? Because obviously this is a great group stage for them. They've won. They just beat the best team in the world in a best of one. But obviously you're looking at things probably very differently to what we are.
Yeah, well, I mean, the first thing that I'm taking away from today is how they were working with their backs against the wall. Yeah. They were that a couple of times against Big, and I mean, the last comeback they made in the second match was amazing, and that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at how can you keep your cool also when things aren't going right. How can you stay focused, stay on the concept, and I think the guys did an amazing job today about that.
What do you think about Carrigan and his energy and that screaming and shouting that he does? Because everyone's got a different viewpoint on it. So I want to know, as a performance coach, when's the right time to do that kind of thing? When you should be saving energy? How do you look at it?
Well, I look at Kadian as an amazing motivator, and I think, like you say, the timing that he has is really spot on. Cool. So I mean, it's always nice to have somebody in your team that can motivate you, and also if you're not the guy that are the most outgoing, then it's nice to have some of the guys that has your back with the motivation at like the sound in the game. It's nice to get the opponent going a little bit.
Definitely is. Well, Lasse, thank you very much. It's been great to meet you, man.
Thank you. You too.
A new performance coach there for Heroic. We'll continue things moving.
Yeah, really insightful to get to hear a bit of the theory behind the wider team of Heroic. And of course, they net the win in our Group C here at the BLASTPremier full groups. But we do need to round out the day with our CS Money Play of the Day as well. You guys know the deal by now. Head on over to the BLASTPremier Instagram to get your votes in. What are the options for the viewers today, Matthew?
We're kicking things off with a Heroic player. We have Faze with a great pistol round on Nuke, making plays first off with the Glock double kill and then adding two more here. Crisp shots with the USB. He had a quiet game, but he started off very well.
Then we got Clutch of the Day coming out of Rubs, playing a great game on Nuke right here, making sure to keep Faze in the lead against Heroic. First time around, they're facing a 1v3 where he's completely outplaying all of his opponents from Heroic, planting the bomb, circling around the side, and getting the job done. Very impressive by Rubs.
Closing with one of the most beautiful rounds we've seen so far at the Blast Fall groups. It's Stone with the ace, kicking things off with a little bit of a Tech 9 play. And look at the scoreline as well. It's 12-9 against Big. That round turned the whole destiny on its head, grabbing the AK, adding two more. They had the information in the smoke. He stayed cool, focused on the concept, as Lasse would say. Ace from Stone. Brilliant play.
Cool, calm, and collected. So many incredible plays going down here on Group C of the BLASTPremier full groups. But we also need to do our Mersk MVP check-in with the wonderful James Banks. Who else have we got on the cards as a potential candidate now, Banks?
More James.
Oh, we're going to have a look at how it's all been going down because the groups have now ended. So let's take a look at further details of which three players we have here now. So ZywOo still at the top, but guess who has snuck in? Tabson coming out from this group across 3 maps. He put up some incredible numbers and did the best he could to get Big Clan to that third place spot. Perfecto still sitting there second only just narrowly, but no one just yet can overtake ZywOo, who helped do massive damage for Vitality to be in the #1 spot. But guess what? When we get to the elimination stage, Simple's back.
Yeah, that is definitely a
He had
deadly
to.
prospect going
He had
forward.
to.
Yeah, he's always
Surprised
got
there weren't 3 Na'Vi players right
a
there, to be
Na'Vi player
completely honest.
in
Yeah.
there. The Banks bias, as always, coming through. But I mean, props to Tabson as well, despite Big going out third in the group. Just shows how impactful the in-game leader for the squad is.
Remained excellent. He remains excellent as a player. He had great impact. It wasn't enough to push his team towards the finish line, but still a man for whom we always have compliment.
For my money, he's been the best player we've seen in the group stage so far. 3 games, 3 consistent games, and without him today, Big wouldn't have been close to get, to the further stages of these games. So Tabson has my leading vote right now, but that can quickly change.
He's got the pimp vote.
That's all that counts, because you were the king of our Betway predictions. So we've got to check in and see if Jacob is still leading the charge. No, he is not. I'm going to get a little bit closer to the screen because Matthew, you are joined
How was he
with Banks.
possibly the king when I have 3 more points than him?
Yeah,
9,
no, my
10,
maths wasn't
11,
correct.
12.
No.
Listen,
Someone needs to get a
I need to
hobby
go back to school. But
Could we just make something as long as Jacob doesn't have double digit? He should not be talking on the desk.
yeah, a mute button for Pimp automatically. He's already given himself a mute button.
He's doing
apparently.
a mute right now.
I'm just watching out for the Sears. Unfortunate for all of us picking Faze.
We didn't do too bad. We got surprised by Heroic right there. We didn't do too bad. Today was a better day. Yesterday, I think we all looked like a bunch of clowns, but today was a bit better.
Yeah, no, we're going to have a hell of a lot more opportunities for Pimp to reclaim that crown going forward, as we do have a lot more Counter-Strike going down next week. Of course, best of threes return, and we can take a look at the gauntlet to see exactly how that is going to be playing out for our teams remaining in the competition. Of course, this was just seeding, so no teams eliminated as of yet. But that first setup of games, we're going to be bidding farewell to a team.
Any opinion, Jacob? Anything you want to share? He's still not allowed. He's still not allowed. He's got no opinion. Oh, that's the best time. Can we just keep on the show
Yeah, just
going?
a Pimp mute switch going forward. Does that mean that you're seeing Heroic going through maybe Pimp? Is that it? Yeah, a nod of the head? That's all it is. He's really not going to say anything.
Just
well
give it
done
on.
for that one, Maniac. I want to just wish Counter-Strike or CSGO a happy 10th birthday.
Absolutely.
There is no way I would rather be spending a birthday of my favourite game. I think Pimp is just lost for words in this. So we're going to give you some time off. You've got 3 days to chill, maybe regain that voice, Jacob. But make sure you join us back on Thursday at 12:30 if you're in the Central European time zone this summer, where we'll be starting our pre-show. And it's going to be OG taking on Complexity to open up our best of threes.
So for me, CS has always been about getting connected with other people, having the same goal, overcoming hardships.
I think I love to play Counter-Strike so much because I'm a really passionate guy.
It's like an accidentally perfect game on some sense.
I think Counter-Strike is the balance between having the possibility of winning on your own, and on the other hand, you have this whole team spirit experiment where you bond with other people. You create something that is bigger than just yourself.
As a sport, it's competition, it's camaraderie, it's legacy. It's about accomplishing.
There's incredible moments of build-up and incredible moments of action. There's incredible moments of achieving something that seems like it should be impossible.
There, Bonnicy is in a lot of trouble. He no-scopes one of them. He keeps going. 10 seconds. He fakes the bomb, spins around, running up close and personal. Oh, what a flick!
They say you have 2 deaths, and the first time is when you die. The second is when people stop talking about you. And it's for that reason that I don't think Counter-Strike will ever die.
Is the love of the competition. It's the competitive drive.
I think we wouldn't be here if it weren't for the community.
I love competing, I love winning, and Counter-Strike gives me the motivation to do so.
I'm living and breathing this game from the moment I touched the game to now.
There's a million games. There's nothing quite like CS.
Let's roll.